officials out at midfield as they're going over who has what assignments. I know one of them down there because I actually umpire with him in baseball.
Oh, no, was he working with you this morning? No, I know you did a couple games this morning.
I did a couple games this morning, and he's actually the head of our umpiring crew.
So
I get the call from him and said, Cairns, we need you at X field or B field. Get out there and get it. So, no,
very cool.
Had a minor league game this morning, so I was very excited. Good way to get going.
Oh, no doubt about it. And talking about getting going, does it take much to get going for a game like this? Like, you mentioned the weather. You mentioned a little bit earlier just, the level of excitement coming into a game like this, and certainly a great opportunity for all these young men with 5 minutes to go. Everybody in the locker room getting their final instructions. We've had the coin toss, but we were talking, so I missed it. We'll figure it out here in just a minute. And again, we kind of talked about this a minute ago, is we certainly want to welcome our audience on WLCS Channel 20 in Lorain. Joe Bach along with us here on this broadcast, and we'll benefit from his replay, which is going to be real nice. Not so helpful for the radio folks, but the TV folks, you'll know what we're talking about. And
I'm going to want this all year. That's the problem.
Talk to Joe.
All right. Well, maybe we can work something out, Joe. We'll bring him on the road with us, at least for my games. I mean, you're on your own for whatever you do this year, but I want him on the road with me for my games.
Well, hey, and Jeff Ramsey, the head coach at Oberlin College, is sitting immediately behind us watching the action. Jeff, can we get replay at OC?
I'd love it.
Yeah, so would we. Okay. All right. If he's in, we're in. All right. Sounds like a plan to me. And this is the part of the broadcast, Mike. Usually we're starting to talk about starters.
Right.
And we really don't have an opportunity to do that. We're going to kind of pick them up as we go.
Right. And that's kind of the cool thing. And we expect a lot of guys to be shuffled in and out. Let's face it. You talk to Dave DeLugas, you talk to Ty Gruden, both of them say the same thing. These players have made a commitment for this part of their summer to be in this All-Star game, and you can guarantee that he's going to get all of these guys in for as many plays. And you see guys playing 3, 4, 5 different positions because wide receivers have a chance to lay back. Some are going to play running back, just different things to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, one case in point, we were watching during the warm-ups, Jordan White. We expect him to catch some balls. We know that he's going to come out of the backfield, may catch a punt or two. We'll probably see him defensively as well. Jordan, one of those multi-talented guys from North Ridgeville, so we'll see him playing a role. And at one point, should Dave DeLugas want to, and this makes it kind of fun as well, he could almost put out, I think he's got 10 guys on the roster right now. He could almost put out a complete Avon Lake squad.
Yeah, you're right. And he even talked about, you talked about the punt returns. He said that is his biggest concern tonight because none of the guys that he has back there catching punts are true punt return guys. And we watched him practicing a little bit, and now I know what he means.
It's one of those things. You come into a game, you've got to get the nuts and bolts kind of things. You need to have probably 10 solid linemen. You need to have a couple of good backs. You need to have a couple of good receivers. If you happen to have somebody that can return a kick or kick the ball away, it's even better. We were kind of going back and forth. We don't know exactly who's going to do the kicking for the West. We didn't see anybody warming up, so to speak. But then we know exactly who's going to handle it for the East. I mean, John Lyons has made the trip here today. He can kick. You put his foot on the ball and it turns out well, so we know that he'll be handling the kicking, and Coach DeLugas has the luxury of having that true kicker on his squad.
And I think the interesting thing too is the squads start to come out onto the field. The West squad out on the field, they'll wear the blue jerseys with the white numbers tonight. You start to see, even though this is a football game in the middle of June, you look down there and you see some of the media guys. It almost feels like a Friday night, like a pregame Friday night by looking at the faces of the people who are down there.
You get that feeling. I mean, this really does become, even though this is truly the end of the 2005 season, it really almost kicks off the 2006 season and really kind of lines you up. And speaking of 2006, we've got a lot of great ball games coming in, folks, this year on the Lorain County Sports Network. Season starts August 25th, just around the corner.
I'm ready to go. I'm really, we talked about this, that you, myself, and Dave DiNatale sat down and kind of went through the games, and we had problems kind of going through because there were so many good games. We had problems trying to get them all in.
There were weeks when you looked at the roster and you're just like, there are 4 or 5 games that are really interesting in terms of matchup, in terms of what it presents for a broadcast. But, when everything's said and done, we were able to put together a 21-game regular season season. And I think we're going to hit all the teams. I think we're going to bring you some great games as fans of the game and as listeners, and looking forward to bringing you those this season. We'll tell you a little bit more about that roster of games as we go through the afternoon.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're going to have eyes and ears at a lot of games, too. Just because we may be there doing the game live for you, we will have live hits from certain key games. Of course, you got Jason back in the studio again, so he does an outstanding job, and he'll keep you going throughout the football season. So you round out our whole crew. We've got a pretty darn good crew, and they're all ready to be jacked up and ready to go for football.
And certainly you as an addition to our crew.
It's a pleasure to work with you guys.
Full-time sports crew member now, Mike.
I like that.
You'll be handling the play-by-play duties right here on WOBL. I'll be over on WDLW. We'll talk a little bit more about the rest of the crew that's going to be joining us as well.
Well, now that I'm a member of the sports crew, so to speak, do I get any say on the color of the polo shirts and stuff? Well, I mean, we went purple last year. And
we got to lose the purple.
I was not
a happy.
No, I came in late, so I wasn't really in that pre-planning. I don't know where you guys went, what water hole you guys wound up to figure that one out. But let's drink some diet beverages and figure out what we're going to wear this year, okay?
I think it's going to be dictated by the station this year. I don't know. I have that feeling, but we'll work on that. I think the purple's seen its last.
Well, the clock has run out here, George Daniel. Officials are waiting for both of the teams to get on the field. Of course, they're going to pause here for the national anthem. I guess we'll take a timeout while the national anthem is playing here. You're listening to the 2006 All-Star Game on the Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL and WLCS TV 20.
People involved in saving the environment. That's why I volunteer.
When I teach computer skills, I help kids succeed in school. That's why I volunteer.
I help to raise awareness about the hazards of tobacco use. That's why I volunteer, to make a difference.
If you know middle or high school students who make a difference by doing volunteer work, have them ask their school principals about applying for a Prudential Spirit of Community Award, or encourage them to call 1-888-450-9961.
I'm Gary Sinise. In the movie Forrest Gump, I played Lieutenant Dan Taylor, a disabled veteran. But being a disabled vet is much more difficult. It often means a life of hardship, loneliness, and pain. You can help by volunteering at your local veterans hospital. You will brighten a disabled veteran's spirit and remember those who've sacrificed for our freedom. So please get involved and contact the Disabled American Veterans.
And we are ready for some football, and it is just an absolute beautiful night. Temperature near the 70s, a couple of clouds hovering above, but nothing real serious. The field is in absolutely beautiful condition, and it's amazing that the field looks as nice as it does, because this field gets a lot of use during the year.
Ton of use. Obviously, it's going to go through a football season, and then we have soccer, both guys and ladies, all kinds of activity here at George Daniel. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, but give credit to the grounds crew here at George Daniel. I mean, they always maintain this field incredibly well. So, pretty thrilled with that, and the opportunity for the guys to come out here and play on a nice field.
The West squad walking out, getting ready to go here. As we mentioned, the West squad wear the blue jerseys with the white numbers, and the East squad in white with the red. Head coach Dave DeLugas from Avon Lake will man the East squad, and he's got his entire Avon Lake coaching crew along with him. Ty Grude of Firelands, the head coach there, gets the West squad. We're in for an interesting ball game tonight. Now, if you look at the rosters, it almost looks like the East squad is going to overpower this team just based on conferences. You have to go by, where the schools are in the West against where the schools are in the East, but that doesn't mean anything, because you can guarantee Ty said something to his players about that. They want to win.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, we can kind of run through this. The East All-Star is going to be comprised of players from Elyria, North Ridgeville, Avon Lake, Elyria Catholic, Brookside. Make sure I don't miss anybody here. Midview, Keystone, and Avon. Yep. And Columbia as well. The West squad is going to be comprised of teams from Admiral King, Southview, Vermilion, Clearview, Wellington, Amherst. Who am I missing here? Firelands. Yeah, certainly the Firelands squad. You tend to remember, since they're being coached by that staff. But you kind of match up big school for big school, and you go through the divisions and you try to match them up as best possible. But you also look at the schools that have had a lot of success. They're going to tend to put a few more players onto the field. Avon Lake's going to have a fair number. Amherst is going to have a fair number. Now, also remember that, fortunately or unfortunately, there is a limit on the number of all-star games that guys can play. They can only play 2 games. So some of the names that you would hope to see at the local all-star game, you won't see today.
Right.
But that does not take away from the fact that these are elite athletes. These guys have really put it together, and they've earned the right to be here. There's no question about that.
Absolutely, and they've already made some scratches, especially for the East squad. Chris Rowell, the great running back for Avon Lake, tweaking a hamstring during practices this week, and Coach DeLugas not taking any chances, because Chris is on his way to a full ride at Georgetown University to play football, and he does not want to hand off his star running back to the Georgetown head coach injured.
No, you want to make sure these guys are taken care of, and there's absolutely no reason to risk anything. If you see anybody go down with any kind of injury today, it's their time on the field is going to be short-lived, and they're going to come to the sideline and be a spectator for the remainder of the game. It just makes sense to keep the kids safe and to keep them healthy. Let them perform, let them have fun, but don't ruin their potential future.
Absolutely, and for those of you watching along on WLCS TV 20, we welcome that audience as well, as you can see. And this is the part of the All-Star game that you really love. You see the East squad being introduced, going out, shaking hands with the West squad. I mean, everybody knows everybody in Lorain County. Let's face it, our county's not huge, so people know of who's playing in this ball game, and it's a huge pride factor. Both sides want to win equally as bad, even though you can say, oh, it's just an all-star game, let's have some fun. Try to tell that to some of these guys, as we mentioned, who may be playing in a football game for the last time.
Well, even Dave DeLugas mentioned it. He goes, we're all competitive guys. Because, one of my questions to him was, Coach, are you coming in with a thick playbook and a major strategy, or are you just going to come out and have some fun? And go, so, you know what, we're all competitive. There's no coming out and having fun. We're here to win a football game, and you know that as a football player, once you put on that helmet and you strap that chin strap, it's all business, and you can enjoy the experience, but boy, you're there to crack skulls, and that's a good thing.
And I don't know about you, but one of the things that I was excited about to do this game tonight is I'm getting to see some of these guys for the last time, guys like Roger Smith, who may be the best pure athlete out on that field tonight. He is amazing.
He's one of those guys that you just look at him, and you say, the first time you look at him, he's a little bit smaller than you might expect. expect because you've heard all these big things. And, boy, you know, just walking along the sideline doesn't look like he's fast. But, boy, I tell you, when he gets to it, he just puts it together. He's got great feet, great speed, great ability. You could almost put him anywhere other than a line position and expect him to perform very well.
The Avon Lake coaches said about him, they said if he had a little more height, then he would be writing his ticket to a major D1 school. He's going to Youngstown State, which, believe me, they've won several championships, the Penguins have, so that's no slouch. But if they said if he had a little more height, he would be on his way to a major Division I school because he is a major talent on both sides of the football.
Right. I mean, he does it all. We saw him do that last year. And, you know, he's just one of those kids. It's a lot of fun to watch. Also, the player introductions have concluded here at George Daniel Stadium. It means we're a little bit closer to playing some ball. It looks like the East squad's getting their final huddle together along with the West squad. We'll get them rolling here in just a minute.
And the real cool thing about this game, you look at the East squad, they're in the white. You'll notice several stickers on their helmets, and everyone has an Avon Lake sticker on their helmet. Head coach Dave DeLucas said that his players got a hold of those stickers this week because practices were being held there in Shoreman Country, and they handed out stickers to every single guy in this team. So you'll see a North Ridgeville guy with an Avon Lake sticker, you'll see a Midview guy. They're just swapping stickers. So, you know, again, it's the camaraderie about this game that really makes it fun.
It's so much fun. And you know, hey, it's time to play ball. So let's just go ahead and get at it.
Well, it's easy to know the East squad's going to be kicking off, so we pretty much know who's going to be handling the duties for the East squad. Johnny Lyons, the big-legged kicker for Avon Lake, will be teeing it up and getting us ready to go. And the West squad back to receive will be number 25, Andrew Irish of the Dukes of Wellington. Back to receive on the right side along with Jordan Simmons of Admiral King. And Jordan has played plenty of football here at George Daniel.
He's familiar.
So Irish and Simmons are back to receive the kick. Lyons is putting it up on the tee. And we are just moments away from kickoff and the start of the 2005-2006 Lorain County All-Star game because
let's get that in there.
Yeah, we really should. The Lions has the hand up, and he's got it up. It's going to come up just a little bit short. That's going to be picked up by Simmons. Simmons goes around the right side, and he gets pushed out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So the West squad will start it off 1st and 10 at the 25.
Now is when we start trying to pick up the players, make sure we give credit to everybody that's going to be on the field.
Yeah, stick with us. It looks like Kevin Simiskevich is going to be the starting quarterback from Admiral King. He's going to be calling the signals.
Yeah, it's Simiskevich put in a good amount of time here at Admiral King getting into the games. Let's try to make sure we get everybody in here. I saw Eddie Hall from Southview and Matt Stavesky from Firelands on the offensive line.
And he's getting lined up and ready to call the first play. He is under center. He's got the wide out spread. And it's right off the bat, a fumble as he goes back to hand off the ball. And it looks like the East squad has come up with it. It looks like there was a little miscommunication on the handoff right off the bat. And the East squad comes up with the football.
Well, I'm wondering if Joe will get the replay for us. I'm not exactly sure if we actually saw a good connection between the center and the quarterback. A long count. Yeah, he got it. The exchange wasn't there for him.
Yeah, he got the handoff. It looked like it was going off to Alfie Reyes, and Reyes dropped the football. And the East has it now, 1st and 10 at the West. It looks like the West 15-yard line. And Brian Petties is going to start the game under center for Dave DeLugas' squad. And you're going to see a lot of these guys going back. He fakes the handoff, and he swings it out wide to Sean Morello. Morello at the 5, he gets in, touchdown! And just like that, the East is on the board. Morello from his former quarterback, Brian Petties, a 15-yard touchdown, and the East is on the board first. Yep. Sean Morello, a load to bring down. Just a little swing pass to Morello out in the flat, and he had nothing but daylight in front of him, went in untouched for the touchdown.
You draw it up that way. If you're an Avon Lake fan, you know this one. It's a pretty simple little play. You just run the fullback into the line and then let him roll out. He'll pick it up in the flats and just rumble on in. Touchdown. Nice quick touchdown for the East squad.
Yeah, nice play fake there by Brian Pettis. He play fake to Ricky Benson of Elyria Catholic, and then he gets Morello out in the flat. and Morello scores the touchdown. Johnny Lyons with the extra point, and it is up and good. Just like that, the East has a 7-0 lead. Just 18 seconds into the 2006 version of the Lorain County All-Star Game. A 15-yard touchdown pass. Let's take this time out on your Ohio sports leader, AM 1320 WOBL and WLCS TV 20. Back with more from George Daniel Stadium after these.
Your one-stop place for something really special is Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard. T-shirts and sweatshirts personally designed to your specific needs. Anything from bears, trains to zebras, and specially designed hats as well. And don't forget Impressions, your one-stop spot for school jackets. See Dave, the designer expert at Impressions, Oberlin Avenue at Tower Boulevard, right here in Lorain.
Since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on boats, cars, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 7 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, Port Clinton, and now at 36690 Detroit Road in Avon. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured.
15-yard touchdown pass on the first play after a turnover by the West, and the East squad has themselves a 7-0 lead, and they're going to try this again. And Johnny Lyons, once again, will be kicking to Andrew Irish of Wellington and Jordan Simmons of Admiral King, but that one's going to come up short, and that one is going to be picked up by Zach Harrison, I believe, of Amherst. And he came up short, got the short kick, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the West, and that'll be at about the 27-yard line. Their own 27, so they'll go 1st and 10, and you know what? They're going to try to build on what happened in the first play of the ball game.
You think maybe, huh? Well, we'll go ahead and try to pick up the rest of the players on the field for you. Drew Worley from Vermilion will be one of the receivers for the West squad. Also out there, Joe Moore from Clearview.
Samaskevich is under center, and this time he's going to roll. He's going to hand it off to Carrison. Carrison's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, but he was slammed down on the play by number 45, Steve Brennan of Brookside. Brandon came up from his inside linebacker spot and made the play.
You know, nothing fancy, nothing major here. It's just kind of line up and run that I backfield. Take a look at what presents itself. Rashawn Lagarde split out here for the West side, the West squad. Also out there is, I'm missing a body here.
He's going deep. He's going down the right sideline, and that one's going to be thrown way out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd and 9, ball on their 28. And it's funny because Dave DeLugas is using Roger Smith, a great quarterback from Elyria, on the corner along with one of his own corners, Kyle Stokes. And that is an interesting matchup because he told us he couldn't get Roger Smith into enough situations or positions to be used through this game. They just loved him.
There's what's not to love? I mean, he's just a great athlete. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Samaskevich really took a pop when he tried to let go of that one. Thus, it kind of floated duck style out of bounds.
You got the Amherst backs in the backfield, Carrison and Reyes. And he's under center once again. This is going to be Reyes. Reyes pounding his way straight ahead. Fumble on the ball, and looks like the East has recovered another fumble. Carrison is down hurt. He took a pop. Carrison was the one on the play, came right up the middle, and he got hammered, and the football came flying out. East recovers, and it'll be the second turnover, as many possessions for the West squad.
And this is what you worry about in these games. You see Garrison get up through the line, got popped, ball came loose, knocked back, picked up at what about the 30-yard line. And Zach's still down there.
Yeah, he is down and being attended to by the first aid crew, and they're in the leg area. And I don't know if it was an ankle or what it is, but it was definitely in the leg area. As we take another look at the replay here on WLCS TV 20. Look at the pop as he comes straight up the middle, and then the ball comes flying out. he was stripped on his way, and he turned back, and he just got plastered on the way.
For our radio audience, that little "oh" that you heard from me, we were able to watch the replay here, and his leg just got twisted under him. And that's not a real good feeling. You may be able to hear a siren in the background, and that's probably coming in this direction. Probably, Mike, good opportunity for us to step away, take a break, and give them a moment or two to take care of the young man on the field.
Yeah, we'll take a time out here on your Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320, WOBL, WLCS TV 20, 10:51 to go, quarter number 1. And the E Squad has a 7-0 lead. Back with more from George Daniel Stadium after these.
Some dogs fetch and roll over and shake hands. Some dogs take you to Spain and shopping for refrigerators and help you get through grad school. Some dogs help you start your own business, go on hikes in the Grand Canyon, and skip rocks on the pond. Some dogs you trust with your life every day. Being partners with a guide dog is about more than walking down the sidewalk. It's about having the freedom to do what you want in life. Nothing more, nothing less. And with your help on Guide Dogs for the Blind, nothing need ever change that. Call 1-888-884-DOGS or visit guidedogs.com.
And welcome back to George Daniel Stadium. 10:51 to go. Roger Smith under center, and Smith fakes it to Morello, goes around the right side, hit the 20, the 15, and he's met there and popped and sent out of bounds on a nice play by number 21, Richard Lagarde. And our hopefully the best to Zach Carrison, who was carried off the field. Carrison is on his way to play football at Northwood, Michigan. And let's hope that injury is not a serious one, and that young man has plenty of time to recover and get ready for the next step of his career.
Yeah, while we've got a minute here, I want to go ahead and recognize some of the linemen. I'm just going to kind of run through the whole roster of linemen. Bill Byra from Avon, Kevin Kerr from Avon Lake, Nick Ike from Avon, Robert Howes from North Ridgeville. I'll pick up some more here in a second.
And it's Smith back to pass, going up top, and that pass is deflected and knocked away. A 1st and 10 pass from the 19. And Smith looking for Jordan White out of North Ridgeville, but great coverage out by the West squad out there by number 10, Paris Hilliard from Admiral King.
White made a nice move on the ball, kind of hesitated right at the goal line and then tried to move forward underneath the coverage. Just couldn't stretch enough for it. Give Hilliard the credit for just kind of being in the right place at the right time. Rest of the offensive linemen for the East squad: Dave Wise from Brookside, Chris Mayers from Avon Lake, Brandon Kirstowski from Avon, Tom Yorkowitz from Midview, Jim Coyne from Avon Lake, and Dan Fiedler from Midview.
Morello on the short handoff, and he goes powering into the line, maybe about a 2-yard gain on a 2nd and 10 from the 19. Again, George Daniel Stadium, the site for this year's Lorain County All-Star Game. Mike Cairns along with Don Vincent, and we are more than happy to bring you all the sports coverage here on your Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL, and you're also watching along on WLCS TV 20. Remind you that this game will air next Saturday and Sunday at 9 o'clock, noon, and 8 p.m. So you have several chances to watch it next weekend. Pitch back now from Smith. Smith gets it to White. White gets all the way inside the 5. That'll be another 1st down. And the E squad absolutely having no problem moving the football.
Actually, that one's going to come back, Mike. Flag dropped at the point of attack. They're going to call a hold, and they're going to back things up. A nice run by White that time. Read his blocks well. Hesitated very nicely to kind of find some open grass, but that hold's going to march us back the other way.
Yeah, that's not something that Dave DeLugas is used to. He's not used to his offensive linemen making a lot of mistakes, and he's got a heck of an offensive line. And he's got several of them here tonight. So.
No doubt. I mean, and the folks that are on that offensive line that aren't his, per se, are still some pretty quality young men.
So that'll back it up. And we're looking at a 3rd and 13. Now it'll back all the way up to the 30. It's Smith rolling to his left side, looking downfield, comes back the other way, finds an opening. He's going to look to tuck. No, he's going to throw. He's got a man wide open. Kyle Miller, touchdown! What an... Oh, wait, there's some dirty laundry on the field. What a play by Roger Smith, and that's exactly what he can bring to the table.
Just did such a nice job creating and finding an open spot on the field so he can settle down, looked across the field to find the receiver. But the flags on the play are going to march this one back, and this East squad really comes up with nice play after nice play, but ends up kind of backing up. And here we see the replay on WLCS. Rolls to his left, cuts back across right, and there's where he just settles down and does such a nice job looking back across the field.
And he recognized where he was. You notice that he looked down to see where the line of scrimmage was. And by the way, that was not Kyle Maurer that caught the touchdown pass. It was called back. It was Scotty Nealon, the great wide receiver from Avon Lake, who's on his way to Baldwin Wallace next year. So they'll try this one more time. It's consecutive penalties. Brings up a 4th and 20, and Dave DeLucas says, let's go for it, and there's going to be a false start again, so that's going to back them up another 5 yards. They're going to be deep in the hole, and things are starting to unravel a little bit.
You know, you don't like to see this happening, but it's part and parcel of playing in a game like this. And last time they had trips to the left side. It was Maurer, Dowdell, and Morello split to the left side. Morello, fullback, as much as anything else.
Yeah, they need Morello in there. He'll be in his familiar fullback position. Ricky Benson will get a load of work at running back. As we mentioned at the top of this broadcast, Chris Rao, great running back for Avon Lake, tweaked a hamstring during practice this week, and he will not play tonight. But they also have Carl Nielsen in there, and Nielsen played a lot of defensive back for Dave DeLucas, and you may see number 32 as well. So Smith, again, pitches to Jordan White. White at the 20, 15, picks up a block, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 15. So the West will take over on their own 15-yard line.
Well, you know, you like the idea there in terms of, you know, why not go for it? If you punt it, chances are they're going to get back out at the 20 anyway. So you've got an opportunity to kind of take your shot at it. And, you know, White had a look at it there for a second. You run that option into the short side of the field, things close down a little bit quicker.
And on the tackle was Jordan Simmons. We've mentioned his name a couple of times from Admiral King. He's on his way to play football at Bluffton. So we've got several guys that are continuing their football careers on both sides tonight. So back to the West, we'll come back the other way, and they've made some changes in the backfield as well, because with Carrison now gone, they're going to hand it off to Juan Williams from Southview, and he gets ahead for a couple of yards.
Did a nice job just up the middle, spun off of one tackle, and Williams and Samaskovich know each other. I mean, they're both from Lorain. Different schools, Admiral King and Southview, but expect that those guys are going to communicate a little bit effectively. Take a look at the offensive linemen for the West squad. Try to give these linemen a little bit of love. Kanan Watson from Southview, along with Tony Greer from Wellington, Gabe Washington at Admiral King, Eric White at Southview, Ron Linkus from Admiral King, Matt Staveski from Firelands will wrap up the offensive linemen here in just a second.
So that was a pickup of 5, and the West squad still looking for their first down of the game. A handoff. They're going to stick with Juan Williams, who goes around the right side, and Williams met by a host of tacklers over there on the left side. Close to a first down, but I think he may be about a yard or two short.
Well, you're seeing why, especially in terms of this East All-Star defense, you're seeing why these guys are All-Stars. Just the pursuit down the line was absolutely fantastic. Met the ball at the point of attack. Williams able to pick up a yard or two and make it 3rd and short for the West squad, but a nice job that time by both squads, just the offense picking up, but the defense meeting them there.
Yeah, and a nice tackle by Jock Taylor out of Elyria Catholic, and they're going to come up with a 3rd, and let's call it inches, because they are very close to a first down. Williams in the backfield, he'll get the ball, and he's ahead, and he's very close to a first down, and push of the pile, and I think he may have it, the way the official's walking out where he's spotting the football. And they're moving the change, first down, so Juan Williams crashes ahead into the offensive line. They move the pile in their first down, and they've got something cooking here. 1st and 10 now, and they're at the 29-yard line.
Williams running behind Jasper Ford from Admiral King and Jeremy Smith from Clearview. Last 2 offensive linemen we want to mention for the West squad is Brandon Sladoff and Eddie Hall from Southview, Amherst and Southview, respectively.
Kevin Samskovich still back there calling the signals, and he's got Juan Williams as the lone setback. They are split 2 wide left, and then another 1 wide right. Takes the handoff. He's looking downfield, looking to pass, and he is just crushed under a couple of tacklers as they just pushed him back into the backfield and dropped him for a loss.
Interesting formation for the West that time. He had Samaskovich from Admiral King at quarterback, and then 2 of his receivers from the regular season, Rashawn Lagarde and Jordan Simmons, split to the near sideline.
That was Jim Coyne from Avon Lake. He's on his way to John Carroll, comes up with the sack. So it'll be a 2nd down and 15 from the 23. And they're going to try to get some positive yardage. As you look again, Roger Smith out there on the corner along with Kyle Stokes, and then split on the other side. You got Maurer as they start to move players in and out now. Dave DeLugas' E-squad kind of keep them nice and fresh. And Juan Williams is a lone setback, and the quick pick goes right to him, the quick handoff to him, and he is going nowhere as the East defensively starts to clamp down.
You're in a shotgun formation. The snap came back a little bit high to Samaskovich, and that little wraparound draw to Williams. The ball was too visible coming down and then wrapping around. Everybody knew what was going on, slowed down the play a little bit. But that one kind of fell well short of the success that that Ty Gruden and his staff were looking for in the West squad.
And Pete Storer just a little bit slow coming off, a little bit of a ding there. And Storer, the offensive Lombardi Award winner this year in Lorain County, on his way to Harvard. So absolutely no slouch there as he will continue to play football. He is one heck of a guy. And they come in, and they're going to get themselves a first down. Big one, a huge hit by Kyle Stokes, who came up and just laid the wood. Samaskovich.
Yeah, Samaskovich just, give him credit. Took the shot, knew that it was coming, close to a first down, and the ball came loose, but, where are we spotting it? At the point of the hit or where the...
I want to see the replay on that one. that was some wood, and that was a big hit from Kyle Stokes. Stokes on his way to Duquesne, where he'll continue to play football as well. And they are, again, that was a big game. Third, and here it is. Take another look at this one. It's whap.
There's the shot.
Nice play, and Stokes will remember that one. Everybody has a little something to take away from the All-Star game. Some bruises, some not. He comes off the field and gets a slap on the helmet from his coaches, and they were measuring up for a first down.
Aren't you impressed that Samaskovich jumped back up as well? He took all of that shot.
And that was all him. He recognized that there was a lot of coverage downfield, and he just made basically something out of nothing. And they are just inches away from a first down. That was a 3rd and 17 play. So then you get to yourself and you say, Ty, what are you going to do? You're going to go for this? You're just going to punt it? I'm sure all the guys on the offense said, we can get this.
Go for it.
Exactly.
You've got a running back in the backfield in terms of Juan Williams. It's had some success. Samaskovich has had some success when he's had to roll out. I think this is pretty straightforward. As an offensive lineman, as an offensive player, you've got to say, you know what, we can pick up a yard anytime, let alone just a few inches.
And that's what they're going to do as Samaskovich brings his offensive crew to the line. 3 backs in the backfield. Reyes and Williams back there. And there's a timeout called by the West squad. And that'll give us a chance, I guess, to take a timeout here on your Ohio Sports Leader. You're listening to the Lorain County All-Star Game on AM 1320 WOBL.
In my work, I often look into the eyes of endangered animals, and sadly I realize that for many of them, time is just running out. What kind of world would it be without these beautiful creatures in the great web of life? I don't want to find out, and neither do you. I'm Jeff Corwin. Please join me and Defenders of Wildlife to save something wild for future generations. To find out what you can do, visit defenders.org, because you can make a difference.
Thank you for keeping our country free.
I'm happy you looked out for our country.
It seems we are all more aware of what service to our country really means.
Does anyone know what a veteran is?
You must be brave to go in the Army.
Now it is possible to say thank you directly to America's veterans. Just log on to thankyouveterans.org, select an e-card, and send a personal message of thanks.
Please know that you will be in my prayers always. I wanted to do something to let them know how I feel.
I'm glad to say I'm an American because of you.
There are 26 million veterans living in America, from World War II to Afghanistan and Iraq. Let a veteran or someone in the military know you appreciate their service. Visit thankyouveterans.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
And welcome back to George Daniel Stadium. Along with Don Vincent, I'm Mike Aarons. Thank you for joining us on WOBL as we actually kick off our football season, so to speak.
This is it. We're getting ourselves together, getting ready to bring you 21 games worth of high school football, 10 games worth of Oberlin College football as well. Start things off on August 25th right here on WOBL. It'll be Elyria at Midview. That one shapes up incredibly well. And on WDLW, North Ridgeville at Westlake, a rivalry kind of in the remaking phase, I guess. Those teams have gone at it in the past. Good to see them getting back at it. September 1st, Wellington at Avon on WOBL, on WDLW, Midview at Amherst, another great matchup. And we also get to start our college season that weekend, Oberlin College at Case Western Reserve, a very rare evening game for college.
So a 4th and 1, and they move ahead, and they push the pile, and that's going to be enough for a first down as they get out close to the 40, just across the 40. So the West squad has themselves their second first down of the game, 1st and 10 at the 40, and they continue to move the football. 6:10 now left to go in the first quarter.
Trying to look exactly who was the center that time. I think it might have been Eddie Hall from Southview. Samaskovich just buried his head in his back and moved forward. Just a nice job getting that forward push from the offensive line, and Samaskovich just really had to follow his guys through the line.
Yeah, Samaskovich made a great job just getting behind the center, and they just kind of pushed that pile, and they've got themselves now 1st and 10 at the 40. Williams and Reyes in the backfield for Samaskovich. That was Tony Greer, the center, that he kind of got down behind. The handoff now to Williams starts on the right side. He's met over there, breaks one tackle, but not the second one, and he's going to take a loss on the play. Nice play out there, and I believe, who was out there one of them to get the, I know one, look, Carl Nielsen came up.
There.
Carl Nielsen came up with a tackle for Avon Lake. Got some help out there as you take a look at the replay. Nielsen, and then it was cleaned up nice by Steve Brennan of Brookside. So loss of 3, a 2nd and 13 now for the West.
Well, you've got to look for this West squad to go up top here. Samaskovich has some of his favorite receivers from earlier in the year. He's got them available. Joe Moore from Clearview split to the far side of the field. It's Simmons to the near side.
Yeah, Roger Smith on Moore on the left side of the field, and then you look up on the right side, and he gives hands off right to Juan Williams. Williams has got a lot of work here, and he pushes the pile, goes across the 40, a gain of about 3. So he got back what he lost and then a couple. And we're looking at 3rd down now for the West squad.
Williams working through the line right behind Jeremy Smith from Clearview, and the two of them get up together. I mean, it's just nice job, the offensive lineman working downfield to help the running back pick up those yards.
And they're now looking at a 3rd and 13 from the 42. And again, this is where they're going to need to go up top.
Yeah, 3rd and 8 maybe. Yeah,
a little bit close.
Yeah, they didn't advance the
board. A little slow
for
on us tonight.
All right.
We're in our preseason, so to speak. you can expect them to go up top here. As Jordan Simmons left, and he rolls to his left side, throws it up in the air. Smith is there, and it goes in there. What a catch! The big tight end grabs it and advances it for a first down.
Drew Worley from Vermilion just on the tip drill in the right place at the right time, cradles it, works his way upfield, and gets the first down for the West squad.
Wow, take a look at this replay here. As Samaskovich rolls to his left side, for those of you watching at home, Roger Smith had it, but Worley's right there to get the deflection and advance it. 1st and 10 from the 45, and the West squad's got themselves in the East territory for the first time this evening.
I'll tell you, it's living dangerously when this West squad goes up top. They've not been real effective in the passing game up until that point, and that one, I got to tell you, from a coaching perspective, not pretty.
No, and that's a tough throw across your body too. Samaskovich wanted to throw, put it back down because he didn't see anybody out there, and he is going to be dragged down on the play.
Does a nice job just getting back up to the line of scrimmage. Pressure from Steve Brandon from Brookside on the stop there for the east side of things.
Along with Brandon Kriskowski from Avon. So the two of them combining to set him down. That'll be, we'll call it a loss of a yard and bring up a 2nd and 11 from the 46. Beautiful evening here at George Daniel, and we are So glad to be here for the 2006 Lorain County All-Star Game. The East Squad and the West Squad, we're taking a look at some of the best of all the seniors in Lorain County, and you just can't get a better ball game than this. As now Corey Turner from Clearview in the backfield, along with Alfie Reyes of Amherst. As Samaskovich is still under center for the West Squad. He'll hand it off to Reyes. Reyes cuts back in. He gets a couple before he's dragged down. And he gets across the 45. He's about the 46, so he gained about 2. And they'll keep on moving as Dean Filer, who is the Defensive Lombardi Award winner for Lorain County out of Midview, makes the play.
Shot the gap. It was a good thing that Reyes made the cut to the left. Filer's still in on the tackle, but boy, he was just ready to go. I was going to use a phrase that I probably can't use on air.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Thank you
I had
very
to
much.
stop.
For all of our sponsors, they just went, wow. Don't get Vincent going again this year. You get paired with Cairns, and he just starts saying stuff.
It's going to be risky.
Samaskovich now out of the shotgun on a 3rd and 9 from the 44. Back to pass. He's looking downfield. He's got some players, but there's a couple of jerseys there, and it is picked off. And back the other way.
I'm trying to pick up a number for you.
He goes at the 50, the 40, and he gets pushed out of bounds at the 45. That's Ryan Kostedna of Brookside. What a play. As Samaskovich went deep downfield, but Ryan Castaneda of Brookside came up, made an acrobatic play, and then returned it to the 45. For those of you on WLCS TV 20, take a look. Samaskovich again going deep down the right side, and watch number 24 just kind of outleap everybody. He gets to the 10, the 15, and just starts picking up a host of blockers, and he gets pushed out of bounds just inside the 50, and that's where the East Squad will take over 1st and 10 from the 48.
Turnovers are the story here this first quarter of action. There have been 3 by the West Squad, and East has been able to capitalize at least once. We'll see what they do this time.
Brian Petty's under center, fakes the handoff. Petty's on the little rollout pass, and that's collected there by Jock Taylor from Elyria Catholic. The valedictorian of his class at Elyria Catholic, Jock Taylor was this year.
That's impressive.
Congratulations to that young man, and he picks up a few. We'll call it 8 on the play, or 9. It'll be a 2nd and 1 now for the East.
It'll be a short one, that's for sure. See if they open up the playbook here and get a little bit creative.
Got Jock Taylor and Ricky Benson, the Elyria Catholic connection.
They're going to measure this, partner.
It's pretty close. Based on where the crew is over there, they're inches short, but that doesn't mean anything in the game of football when they start bringing those chains out.
I'm trying to compare it 40 to 40. You know, the far side 40 where the sticks were, and this near side 40 where the ball is. And, you know, if I was a betting man, I'd say they've got it by about a foot.
It's close. He's got it by maybe the length of the football, and he does.
That's it.
That'll be a 1st down, length of the football, so they pick up 10 on the pass play. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. The East collecting their 3rd turnover. They cashed in the first one, weren't able to do anything with the second. And now they are knocking on the door once again with the 3rd turnover of this evening. And John Lyons down there warming up, thinking maybe he'll get a chance. And maybe another 10, 15 yards, and they will be right in range because it's a gorgeous night for football. There is no wind, so the conditions are perfect.
Yeah, I took a glance over at the flag just to see exactly what was happening. There was a slight cross breeze a little bit earlier. Right now, there is almost nothing.
Got a minute 40 left to play, first quarter. East Squad has themselves a 7-0 lead on a 15-yard touchdown pass to Sean Morello out of Avon Lake. So they're back under center, 1st and 10. Petty's now. He's got the Elyria Catholic connection back there. He hands it off to Ricky Benson. Benson might have got one, but then he is pushed back. And there were several guys there to meet him, including Alfie Reyes from Amherst, who came up with a big hit and pushed him back.
Reyes is really making an impact on this game. Offensively, we've seen him run the ball a couple times. Defensively, a couple nice tackles. Essentially no gain, maybe a loss of about a couple feet that time for the East Squad.
So they're looking at 2nd down. And Petty's comes out under center. And now Jordan White in the backfield along with Jock Taylor. In the eye, the pitch to White to the 40. Made just inside the 40, met by a host of guys out there. Maybe 2 on the play before he is brought down. Several guys out there to meet him.
Yeah.
Including Jordan Simmons from Admiral King, who was the lead tackler on the play. As you take a look at the replay for those of you watching along at home, and Simmons has had himself a nice night. He has been all over the place so far this evening.
And Simmons joined that time by linebacker Gabe Washington, also from Admiral King on the stop. So the two teammates getting together at least one more time tonight.
So we'll call about 3rd down and 10. No gain there. He got back to the line of scrimmage. And again, Roger Smith faking the handoff. Smith weaving his way, looking for somebody downfield. Smith, he's got a receiver open. It's Jock Taylor. Taylor at the 20 to the 15. First down to the E squad. Great play by Roger Smith. Kept the play alive as he continued to look downfield. Taylor kind of doing just kind of a little in pattern. Kind of sat himself there inside the defense, and he was picked up for the first down. Nice play by Smith. That's all it takes.
That's all you got to do. Taylor just kind of found a little opening there, sat in it, no reason to move. And again, Roger Smith, just the athletic ability. The pass wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but it doesn't need to be. You're only going 7 or 8 yards upfield. You just got to get it there.
So 1st and 10 at the 15. And Smith will stay under center. And that is the end of the first quarter. We'll take a timeout from George Daniels Stadium, where the East squad up 7-0 and has a chance for more when we come back on the 2006 Lorain County All-Star Game on your Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL.
In times of danger and disaster, in times of peace and times of war, in times of joy and times of pain, in every corner of the world and right here at home, we need them, they need us, and we need you. The USO, until everyone comes home. To find out more about the USO and how you can help, visit USO.org.
Looking for the right color, the right style, the right price for your floor coverings? Well, you can find them all at Ted's Floor Coverings, the only place you need to shop for affordable custom flooring. Whether you're looking for area rugs, carpeting, laminates, ceramic, or marble, you'll enjoy browsing through one of the largest showrooms in Northeast Ohio. Their talented staff will even help with your design questions. Ted's is proud to showcase the Kathy Ireland Shades of America collection. Shop at Ted's Floor Covering, 668 Broadway, downtown Lorain, a local company committed to our community. Ted Kalo, President.
Your lawnmower needs service. Your snowblower doesn't work. Your riding mower needs repair. Who are you going to call? To avoid all this frustration and for no mower worries, call Mark Furman Mobile Mower Service at 315-0250. Mark Furman Mobile Mower Service makes good old-fashioned house calls. Most service is done on site at your home when it's convenient for you. Mark Furman Mobile Mower Service is one of the area's only authorized Briggs & Stratton mobile service dealers. He's been servicing the area's power equipment needs for over 30 years, servicing most makes, including Sears and MTD yard machines and other major name brands. Remember, for no mower worries and for fast, experienced professional service, call Mark Furman Mobile Mower Service at 315-0250.
Welcome back to George Daniels Stadium, 2006 Lorain County All-Star Game. The East squad on a 15-yard touchdown pass, the only scoring in the first quarter. Sean Morello getting in, and we have a 7-0 ball game.
And Mike, remember that score came off of a turnover. We saw 3 turnovers by the West squad in that first quarter. First one they got caught on, and thus the 7 points. This series right now also coming off of a turnover.
So Morello gets in for the first score in quarter number 1 and the first score of the ball game. And again, 3 turnovers, as Don mentioned, has been the story of this ball game so far. The West squad really hurting themselves with the turnovers, just not able to get any kind of momentum going. When things start to go their way, it's like 1 step forward, 2 back.
Exactly, and they've not quite found that offensive presence, I think, at least as of yet. So we've got to look to see if that West squad can kind of put together an offensive series or 2. And it's not one of those things where you have to score as soon as you get the ball. You just need to start making some statements, putting some plays together, creating a presence offensively that'll take you through the remainder of the quarter.
And you know what? Somebody handed me this, so I'm going to read it. You're interested in being a football official. You're sitting up there in the stands saying, I could have made that call. Put your glasses on. Make a better call next time.
I've never said any of those things.
Absolutely, me neither. But this is your chance to be an official. The Northern Ohio Football Officials Association football officials class. It all starts July 18th. It meets Tuesdays and Thursdays each week for 5 weeks from 6:30 to 9. $85 includes all the books, tests, and registration. For the OHSAA, class is held at the First Energy, which is 6326 Lake Avenue in Elyria. Your class instructors will be Mike McCarthy and Larry Dixon. You can contact Larry if you're interested. His number 440-322-5657. And a fumble snap on the play, a bad snap. Is Smith trying to make something out of nothing. He's way back, gets one tackle away, throws the football away, and avoids a big loss. But he is crushed out of bounds. And so is one of the coaches who goes flying across the track on the play.
Now, there's laundry on the field. I'm not quite sure if it was intentional grounding. There's your signal.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's a good call. It was a good call by the officials. Smith trying to make something out of nothing, but he was running for his dear life. And he was pushed out of bounds by a host of people, and hopefully the coach is all right. Now, actually, you know what? That was Ty Groot that got hit down on the sidelines and rolled across the track. Hey, Coach, thanks for doing the game today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And the coaches are volunteering to be here. They volunteered their time during the last couple weeks to coach these young men.
Here's a look at it in the replay. You can see it. As he was going out of bounds. Actually, that was Coach Groot's assistant that got rolled up on down on the sideline. So after the penalty, it'll be 1st and 20 now at the 38 of the West. And they're trying to settle things out here. The officials trying to make sure that everybody's on the same page, make sure that there's plenty of people on the field.
It's got to be like a 1st and 33. I mean, it's almost forever.
Out of the shotgun. A little short pass to Morello on the screen. Morello gets back to the 30 and just inside the 30 down about the 28-yard line as the pass comes from Roger Smith. Smith on the little screen. Joe Moore out of Clearview comes up on the play for the tackle.
You can afford to give up little picks here and there downfield if you're the West squad right now. You don't want to give away too much because of the field position and the fact that the East squad has this kicker that's been known to boot it a good little distance in John Lyons. But you just kind of want to give up little chunks and not big chunks.
Picked up about 8. We'll call it about 3rd and 25. From about the 28-yard line, and Smith will stay under center, and he's got Morello and Jordan White in the backfield. The pitch to White, run on left side. White's got some room. White's got some blockers, gets to the 20.
My.
Nice move here, but that's when he runs out of room, and he gets dragged down just inside the 20. White had it going. He actually tried to cut back, but there was a host of people there waiting for him.
And I'm going to give credit, Mom and Dad may not like that I'm going to say this, but Kevin Custis, if you check the replay, really kind of got juked on the play, but then came right back and got himself right back into the play, and you really like the hustle there. Custis is the first time we've called his name out of Southview, but good to do that. And a timeout on the field. East squad says they want to talk things over.
10:30 to go. We'll take a timeout while they'll take a timeout. Back with more from George Daniel Stadium, where the East squad leads at 7-0. You're listening to the Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320, WOBL.
My dad is a hero. He goes into places normal people want to get away from. He rescues families, makes everyone safe. But the best thing he can do is come home.
The U.S. Fire Administration reminds you to protect the heroes who protect our lives. Have a smoke alarm on every floor. Test it monthly. Replace the battery yearly. Do your part to get out before they have to come in.
Hi, I'm Sterling Marlin. There's nothing better than great fans who cheer me on in the 40 car. While watching the race, many of our fans like to enjoy a cold beer. And that's okay if you're 21. But if you choose to drink, please do so responsibly. Avoid drinking to excess and never drive drunk. Traffic deaths involving alcohol have fallen dramatically in the last 20 years. So let's all do our part by drinking responsibly.
This message is brought to you by the National Beer Wholesalers Association and this station.
The All-Star Game tonight on WOBL. Mike Aarons along with Don Vincent from George Daniel Stadium, where the East squad on a first quarter touchdown. That's been the only scoring that we've had tonight. 7-0 is the score, and the East with the football. And they called a timeout, wanted to see what they wanted to do on a 4th and 15 after Jordan White picked up a few, as he has it at about the 20-yard line. So Johnny Lyons has that foot, but I can tell you right now, by the offense that's being rolled out there, they are going to go for it on 4th and 15. You got Smith under center, Roger Smith out of Elyria, and then he's got Sean Morello in the backfield with him.
Would have been a 37-yard kick from the near hash.
Right, it's definitely makeable.
It is.
So he'll go with Morello and Ricky Benson as he drops back to pass, looking downfield. He has Jordan White. White was covered, and he's going to be sacked and dropped for a loss. And Chris Davis out of Wellington came up and made the hit for the sack and the loss, and that'll turn the ball over.
I think Ron Linkus was there as well from Admiral King, helping out on the shot there. And you give it up on downs, and then you start rethinking that whole why didn't we kick it thing. I was actually kind of surprised that Smith didn't tuck and go.
Yeah, because White was covered downfield. As we're looking at the replay now, he wanted Jordan White, but then he kind of tucked back in, and Linkus was there, and so was Chris Davis out of Wellington. They just shut that play down. A nice play on defense. But so they'll turn it over. And we'll start to see what the West squad can do. And there's the official timeout here. And there's going to be a timeout called by the West squad. And they look like they were just totally out of sync. Everybody kind of came to the line, started looking at each other like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, you would expect in that situation that you'd be able to come out with a fairly straightforward approach and not have to burn the timeout. We'll keep it right here this time with 10:19 left in the second quarter. It's still 7-0 in favor of the East squad. Really be good to see the West start putting something together here. You know, thus far their offensive strategy has been conservative, but the turnovers have been really what's done them in. The one turnover on the long pass, but other than that, you're really looking at a kind of a grind game up the middle.
Yeah, and they're fighting fire. I mean, really, you turn the ball over 3 times, twice in your own territory, and you've only given up 7 points. I mean, if you're Ty Groot down there, you're thinking that's pretty good because, I mean, we've only given up the 3 points, or the 7 points on 3 turnovers. We got to get something going on.
7 points on 3 turnovers, and the East kind of did us a favor by going for it on 4th down and giving us the ball back here. Now you've got, you know, a pretty good hunk of realty in front of you, starting things off at the 22.
So Samaskovich will be back under center, and he's got Juan Williams, and he throws a little out pattern back there to Jordan Simmons, Admiral King, behind the line of scrimmage, and I think they knew that was coming because he is dragged down for a loss.
It looked like it was intended to be somewhat of a screen. Unfortunately for the West squad, there was just nobody out there to block. We're looking at it on the replay here on WLCS, and just a dynamite play out on the corner by Sean Bunovich coming up. Bunovich out of North Ridgeville making the open field tackle, just wrapping him up, bringing him down.
A loss of 3. Call it 2nd and 15 now as they're back on their 16-yard line. And Samaskovich has Reyes in the backfield. And Juan Williams. Reyes is in the slot to the right. Samaskovich back to pass, looking, and he is just dropped. A host of East squatters were back there, led by Nate Eck of Avon. And that is the salutatorian, what am I saying?
Salutatorian.
The salutatorian.
Yeah, you were right the first time. You had it.
Well, see, I was never that smart, so I never got those things. They were just glad Cairns graduated. He was the salutatorian.
We're happy.
Nick Ike came up with the sack on the play as the West squad is moving in the wrong direction here. It's another big loss in the play, loss about 5 on the sack. So it's 3rd and 24, and they're all the way back on their 8-yard line. So we got receivers, you got double split on both the right and the left side. Samaskovich is looking over the middle and threw it right into the hands of one of the players on Kyle Ballman.
From Brookside.
Right in Kyle's hands and dropped.
Wow. If you could only have that one back.
Wow. He dropped back, and he had, you know what, it was one of those plays where you take your eyes off the football because all you see is the open real estate. You're like, this is a touchdown right here. And he dropped it.
We're looking to see exactly who's going to handle the kicking here for the West squad.
I believe it's Ron Linkus.
From Admiral King?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the biggest kicker I've ever seen. Kickers don't normally wear linebacker numbers. Linkus from his own end zone. And, it's blocked into the end zone and recovered for a touchdown by the East squad. Carl Nielsen from Avon Lake came up with the block and the touchdown. Big Carl Nielsen. Nielsen, a hockey player for Avon Lake, goes about 6'4", 6'5", big guy. He comes up, the block, and then fell on it for the touchdown in a 13-0 lead.
Wow.
Great play by Carl Nielsen, and they just had problems. You knew setting up. I mean, we didn't know coming in who the kicker was going to be.
Exactly.
And I don't even think, Ty Grude knew that himself. Linkus says, I'll do it.
We saw Linkus kick a little bit during the regular season. You're in a situation there where the snap's a little bit low, takes a while to get the kick up, and here comes somebody in untouched.
Yeah, so Johnny Lyons has a chip shot for the extra point. That's up and good. So we'll take this timeout. 8:43 to go, second quarter, and another touchdown for the E squad, up 14-0 here at George Daniel Stadium. As you're listening to the Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL.
Go anywhere. Do anything. The power is yours. Cordless power. But be cool with your cordless power. If you've got old rechargeable batteries hanging around, take them in to be recycled. It's easy, and it's good for the environment. Check us out online or give us a call at 1-800-8-BATTERY to learn more.
Losing your eyesight doesn't have to be a part of aging thanks to a national program that offers no-cost services to qualified seniors. Eye Care America, a public service foundation of the American Academy of Ophthalmology, provides access to medical eye care for senior citizens. To find out if you qualify for medical eye care at no cost, call the number on your screen. Call today. This call could save your sight.
And welcome back to George Daniel Stadium. 14-0 E Squad. No surprise that probably the best football team in Lorain County is the one that is responsible for the 14 points. First quarter touchdown pass from Roger Smith to Sean Morello, the fullback from Avon Lake. He goes 15 yards, 7-0 lead. And then most recently here in the second quarter with 8:43 to go, Carl Nielsen of Avon Lake with the block on a Ron Linkus punt that fell into the end zone. Nielsen falls on it, and it's a 14-0 lead. So Johnny Lyons is going to tee it off and get ready to send it back deep. And the West squad really needs to get something going. This one sent high and fielded at the 12 by Simmons. Simmons goes to the left side. He gets some running room, and he gets up to the 35 before he's pushed out of bounds. And here comes flags on the play. That might be a late hit. As Simmons was down and pushed out of bounds, you might get some yardage tacked onto that. Let's see what the call is going to be.
And you got to like the toss from the official, probably the best throw of the night. He covered from midfield back to the 35 on the sideline.
If you're a prospective sponsor, we could use that as the flag toss of the night. Yeah, hey, sponsorships. We're ready to sponsor anything.
Laundromat, perhaps. I don't know. We'll take it.
Oh, yeah. Smith has been iced down over on the sideline. He's got his foot up there on the bench. Have one of the trainers looking at him.
Got his shoe off, got his sock off, a little bit of ice. Looks, he's got his foot setting on the ice. So that could be interesting, but, you take him out of the equation for the East squad, and you've got another quarterback that kind of knows how to win a game.
Yep.
And Ryan Pettis.
I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Roger Smith getting on the cell phone. I don't know if that means he's done for the night or he's making a call. We saw that in the NFL, didn't we?
Talk about sponsorships.
Yeah, absolutely. Samaskovich with the handoff into the line, and they got a couple on the play.
I think that was Williams again off the left side between the guard and the tackle.
Juan Williams out of Southview gets a couple. We'll call it 2nd down and 8 as he gets across about the 27. And the West really needs to get something going. Clock ticking away, down to 8 minutes. Not a lot of offense for Ty Grude's West squad so far tonight, but a lot of turnovers. And of the 4 turnovers, 2 of them have been turned into touchdowns. Samaskovich, the handoff, that's Reyes. Reyes crashes in the line. He goes ahead for a few more as he gets across the 30 to the 31.
And, if you're Ty Grude right now, this is working for you. You're just nice, simple little dives inside. He says he's going to go with that eye set. And that's kind of what you get when you run that kind of formation. You just kind of dive inside, maybe step off tackle a little bit once in a while. But you're really going to look to your offensive linemen just to kind of take up space and let the running backs move around the blocks.
I'll call it 3rd and 5. They got to get to just short of the 35. Samaskovich now got 2 backs, Reyes and Williams in the backfield. Williams is a deep back. He'll get the handoff. He starts out to the left, but he'll be dragged down for a loss at about the 26. It'll be about a 6-yard loss on the play, and the E squad will take over. Wow. Taking a look at the replay here, and Williams never had a chance. Just a ton of people in the backfield. They were all over him.
Now remember, one of the things that we heard from Coach Dave DeLugas was he was concerned about kick returns, punt returns in particular for his East squad. Deep to receive here.
He's got Jordan White and Dowdell back there at North Ridgeville, and those were the guys that were taking the punts during the game. And Linkus will try this again. He gets the punt off, and this one will go to Dowdell. Dowdell calls for the ball and a fair catch, and he's got about the 45-yard line. Well, they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 45.
It should be a nice opportunity here for the East squad to look at things. Dowdell gets the hand up in the air, wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to take the unnecessary pop. It was a bit of a short kick, went a little on the high side. Take care of himself, and first chore right there is simply catch the ball. That he did. Sets up his offense, and Pettis will come out as quarterback for Avon Lake.
Yeah, Dave DeLugas is happy with that. The first punt, the first punt reception of the game for his team is a fair catch. He'll take it.
Yeah, no question.
And he'll go in the eye back. He's got Morello in the eye back, along with Jock Taylor.
And Morello just takes the ball into the right side of the lane, hesitates a little bit, steps outside one block, gives himself a nice little pickup of 3 or 4 yards. Nothing fancy, just good, straightforward Avon Lake football.
Sean Morello, the horse, gets close to the 50. Call about 2nd and 7 now. 2nd and 6. We'll give him 4 on the play as he's about at the 49-yard line. And they're going to, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised knowing all the games I've seen Dave DeLugas coach that he could just start grounding this thing out.
Yeah.
And he's got Ricky Benson deep in the eye. Morello's the up back. And Petty's back to pass. Petty's looking downfield, and that ball is caught. No, out of bounds. They call it incomplete. He stepped out of bounds.
Must have been out of bounds.
And down there on the play was Scotty Nealon. Nealon caught the touchdown pass that was called back on a penalty.
Did a nice job. And there was good coverage downfield. I think Joe Moore was in on the coverage from Clearview. Hilliard might have been over there as well. Make sure I get everybody appropriate credit here. But nice coverage downfield on that one.
Nealon, one of the twin brothers that were wide receivers for Avon Lake. Scotty going to Baldwin Wallace. Heck of a baseball player. Both of them playing Legion right now for the post there in Avon Lake. And Petty's back to pass. Petty's has White. White had it in his hands and dropped it. White would have been short of the first down, but still had the hands out but didn't make the catch.
Yeah, he makes that catch. It's the difference between 4th and 6 and 4th and about half a yard. I mean, that's the difference, and you kind of anticipate that he'd make that catch. But, hey, again, it's an all-star game. He hasn't really played football. He's probably not in 100% football shape. So, you kind of anticipate some of that stuff's going to happen.
But one of those things, too, you look at, and one of the things that kind of just always kind of irks me about receivers is when they know they've got to get 6 and they run a 5-yard route.
Yeah.
And that's just one of those things. You got to give yourself a chance to get the first down and keep the ball going.
I would agree 100%.
So it'll be Johnny Lyons kicking and Jordan Simmons back deep. Well,
delay a game.
Delay a game. That's okay. I'm sure that was something that they wouldn't mind. They're at the 50, so he wants to get maybe a better angle and a chance to kick away from Simmons. Simmons will be back there to return the kick.
He's got Lagarde alongside of him, also from Admiral King. The two Admirals sitting back there. Either one of them dangerous with the ball.
Lagarde and Simmons back deep. Lyons gets the kickoff, and they said nobody get it. Lagarde comes up, fields it on one hop, and he is met and slammed down by 3 of the E squad players. And it looked like a host of Avon Lake helmets that were down there. Kyle Stokes down there, along with Carl Nielsen. Nielsen already has a touchdown on a punt block. And they will take over. The West squad will take over 1st and 10 from their 17.
Boy, if you're Lagarde, you really think about that one again. Watching the replay, I mean, he just got lifted and body slammed a la WWE on that particular play.
They'll take over 1st and 10 on their 17. Samaskovich has gone the entire first half, and he has Reyes and Williams and an eye back. They're going out of that power eye. That's what Ty Gruden wanted to run, and that'll be Williams, but there's the penalty called. Flags are up. Williams kind of pushed around there by Stokes. And let's see what this brings. This is going to be against the West squad. It's going to be a procedure penalty against the West squad, so they'll back them up 5 more. It goes 2nd and 15, or excuse me, 1st and 15, and they're continuing to have problems on offense, Don.
And you know what's kind of weird about this, Mike, is that despite the fact that the West is essentially kind of imploding here, turnovers, penalties, so on and so forth, they're only down by 2 touchdowns with 5:19 left in the second quarter.
Roger Smith
could be a lot worse.
Roger Smith, the great Elyria quarterback, the shoe off. He's icing. It looks like the right ankle area, and he looks like he's going to be done for the night. I would be very surprised if we see him back in there. So they'll go with Brian Petty's probably most of the way, and I don't even know if there's another quarterback on the squad if it gets down to that. But
I've got to go through the roster. I don't think that there is.
So Samaskovich takes over in a 1st and 15 from the 12. He's got Reyes and Williams as the deep back in the eye. Samaskovich the pound. He gives it to Williams. Williams cuts back, gets across the 15, and Juan Williams picks up about 3. So some positive yardage, but still, the offense kind of sputtering as Carl Nielsen out of Avon Lake comes in and makes the tackle. Nielsen have himself a nice all-star game tonight.
Doing a fine job. How many times have we called his name? He made nice contact right up the middle. Had a little bit of help from one of the linebackers as well, really closing down. So a nice job there by the East defensive squad, maintaining that intensity.
And now they'll come up. A 2nd and 9 from the 18. And Samaskovich really has to get something going. He's sticking with that power eye. Reyes and Williams in the backfield. And Samaskovich to the up back, Reyes. And Reyes gets maybe 1 or 2, gets across the 20 to 21. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Gotta find a way to pick up this 1st down. I mean, even if you punt here, you leave yourself in really bad field position defensively. You really need to pick up, what they calling this 3rd and 6. You need to pick up these 6 yards.
You got Nielsen out there on the defensive line along with Robert Howells out of North Ridgeville. He's on his way to John Carroll. Chris Mares from Avon Lake will join him at John Carroll. So there's a couple of the numbers as we continue to seek out guys and try to get them a little, PT.
Yeah, exactly.
Jordan Simmons and Kevin Custis, and there's another whistle and a stoppage of play. And
calling the delay of game.
Another delay of game.
Yeah, Joe Bach chiming in, thinking the officials might be getting an hourly check instead of a game check. I think he may have a point.
Well, 3rd and 11 as it backs them up 5 more yards.
We have to do that reader about the officials again.
Yeah, we
went off on my eyes.
3rd and 11 from the 17 for Samaskovich. They should be passing on this play. Samaskovich, the bullet across the middle. And that one is broken up on the play.
Yeah, a nice job defensively that time.
Looking for Jordan Simmons on the play on the slant.
I think it was,
but it was broken up on the play.
I think Castaneda in there again on the nice tight coverage for the East squad.
So Linkus will be back to punt, and we know that's been an adventure tonight.
That's a fair way to put it.
4th and 11 from the 17. Linkus the lefty. And Jordan White and Dowdell will be back to receive for Dave DeLugas' East squad.
We've got Drew Worley snapping, and the last couple snaps have been low, and I don't mean to beat up on Drew. This is not a normal position for him, but that's a nice snap.
Yeah, it was clean. Linkus gets it away. Dowdell's the up back. He lets it fall to White. White picks it up at his 45. Tried to juke. He does. Gets to the 50, 45, to the 40. Still on his feet, and he's pushed out of bounds, and there's some extra flags. Maybe a personal foul. A little rough, a little extra hit, a little extracurricular after the play, and some jawing going on down there between some of the guys on the East. And the West squad's number 45, Gabe Washington, out of Admiral King, came over and made the play. As you take a look at White here, for those of you watching at WLCS TV 20, and there's Washington, number 45, kind of pushed it, and the flags came in after that. We're waiting on
Bad
the call.
block.
Yep.
Called against the return team.
The East squad will be called for a block, and they'll take over 1st and 10 at their 48-yard line. So that is brought all the way back. That was actually at pretty close to where Jordan White picked up the football at the 45. So that block came in rather quickly, and I'm wondering if maybe it wasn't Dowdell that came up, because he was the only guy who was actually in the vicinity as White made that cut to try and cut to the sidelines.
I mean, it's unusual. It was a nice return by White that time. Really liked the athleticism, the stop and go. He's lining up as a running back. We'll see if he gets the ball coming out here.
Yeah, Petty's now under center. The pitch to White going right side. White pulling up, looking to throw. He's got a man wide open down there at the 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown.
Scott Nealon.
Scotty Nealon. The first one called back. This one's good. Touchdown pass from Jordan White. And tack on 6 more. It's 20-0 East.
First time we've seen a score that has not come off of a turnover in the game. And the East squad has just about blown this one open, 20-0 with 3:12 left in the second quarter. Taking another look at it, White just rolls to his right side off the little pitch there and looks downfield. No one around him, really kind of dances into the end zone.
A 47-yard touchdown pass from Jordan White to Nealon. Nealon wide open. I mean, there was just nobody around him whatsoever.
Well, who'd expect that kind of play in an All-Star game?
Unbelievable. So Jordan White gets it on the board. Johnny Lyons will put this one up, and it is good.
All right.
3:12 to go. And
Lyons is going to try to hit the scoreboard, I'm telling you.
And Johnny Lyons puts them through. We'll take this time out. The East squad with a commanding 21-0 lead here in the 2006 Lorain County All-Star Game at George Daniel. You're listening to the All-Star Game on your Ohio sports leader, AM 1320 WOBL.
He's always sick. He's a kid. I mean, he's always sick. He keeps getting infections. You're a mother. You worry. I don't know. It seems weird always being sick. You're weird.
If your child is repeatedly sick, it may be PI, primary immunodeficiency disease, a defect of the immune system. The only way to know is by testing.
He's always sick. It's nothing.
It's not nothing. Talk to us about PI.
Hi, this is Tim McGraw. Today and every day is the right time to support the American Red Cross. It gives disaster assistance to people when they need it most. You can help the victims of thousands of disasters across the country each year by making a financial gift to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund, which enables the Red Cross to provide shelter, food, counseling, and other assistance to those in need. Please call 1-800-HELP now. Together, we can save a life.
Remember me.
Thank you, Mr. Coughlin, and that's exactly where you are. 1320 WOBL. Game also being broadcast tonight on WLCS TV 20. And for those of you watching along, you want to see a replay of this one, it's going to air in the city of Lorain next weekend, next Saturday and Sunday. It'll go 9, noon, and then again at 8 p.m. That's on WLCS TV 20. We're happy to be having our voices heard all over the place for this one. If you're watching, if you're listening at home, and Johnny Lyons is going to tee it up. And that one is
How does that happen?
all the way back into the end zone. It fielded and brought out at the 20 up to the 22-yard line. So the big kick and the return, that was Joe Moore out of Clearview, was all the way back. And that was a big kick from Lyons, sent Moore all the way back into his end zone.
It was a spiral. I don't think I've ever seen a kickoff spiral before.
Lyons, if you look at look at the legs at him, he is a big kid, really big kid. He was actually a linebacker at one time for the Shoremen, and Dave DeLugas is like, you know what, I really need you to stay kicker.
Hey, you know, you can write yourself a check if you can kick the ball, let me tell you.
They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 20. And Simaskovich still under center for the West squad. They got to get something going. Juan Williams and Reyes in the power eye. It's to Williams. He's running right side, got Reyes out in front, gets a block for him. Williams stays on his feet, meets a couple of tacklers, gets out close to the first down, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 30.
Williams just doing a nice job making contact with people. Looked like Frank Hodes came up on one of the hits, got up a little bit slow, but good to see him moving.
Best run of the night. Juan Williams, maybe that'll kind of get the fire stoked as he gets out close to the 30. They'll be about 2 yards short of first down, so call a pickup of 8. So 2nd and 2 of the 28, 2:58 to go, and they would love to get on the board before they got into the locker room. Power I again, it's Reyes and Williams. It goes to Williams. Williams looking for some room. He steps back and he's got himself a first down. 25 still on his feet. 26, he gets up close to the 30, close to the 40-yard line. And a big pickup for Williams.
Williams did a nice job that time just bouncing off of would-be tacklers, but give credit to some of his offensive linemen. Jasper Ford was out there. Eddie Hall from Southview just doing a nice job engaging and then moving the defensive linemen downfield. So, you know, the kind of tag team effort between the offensive line and the running back effective for the East squad that time. Check that, the West squad, I'm sorry.
Pickup of 8. 1st and 10 for the West on their own 38. And that power I is starting to grind it out. And Don mentioned that offensive line starting to click. And hopefully they can get something going here as time winding down. Samaskovich handing to Williams for the 3rd straight time. Williams cuts back, gets to the 40. Gets maybe 2 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 as we're getting close to 2 minutes.
You like what you're seeing from the West squad right now, just in terms of offensive intensity and taking advantage of the opportunities to present themselves. You know, it's not going to be anything new for Juan Williams to run the ball 6, 7, 8 times straight. That's what he did at Southview for the better part of last season. So he's used to the grind here, and I'm sure that he'll be content to do that in an All-Star game as well. But you've got to look for Samaskovich at some point to put the ball up in the air again.
Yeah, and if you get this running game going, he will. Juan Williams, one more time. Williams trying to cut back to the 40, and there is nobody there. Maybe lost at least a yard on the play as he's stacked up for the 4th straight time.
Spencer Lely from North Ridgeville in on the stop.
Well, it's the first time we've called Lely's name tonight as he comes up with the play. Minute 25 to go, and we've got a 3rd down, so no gain on the play. 3rd and 8 from the 40. And Juan Williams now has been the offense here in the last 4 or 5 plays as he's carried the ball 4 straight times. So Samaskovich is going to split his receivers and see if he can get something going here. Williams will be the lone setback, and the shotgun is Samaskovich. Samaskovich going down the left side, going up top. He has a man, but it is broken up on the play. Paris Hilliard out of Admiral King, but he was double covered down there. And the throw.
Castaneda was in on the coverage, a little bit short to Hilliard.
Castaneda has really had a great ball game back there for the East squad.
He's been on a couple really nice pass coverage plays, and you know he's not one of those kids that's overly flashy or anything. He's just in the right place. It's kind of the head for the game. He's got good foot speed, able to keep up the quick receivers, and has just done a nice job.
And Castaneda get his squad the ball back as Linkus, bad kick, goes off the side of his foot, hits out at the 40 and goes out of bounds. So the East squad will take over at about their own 37-yard line, but still no return. I guess that's a good thing.
Might be an okay thing, especially under a minute here. 52.7 seconds left in the half, and to keep the ball out of Jordan White's hands. How do you complain about that?
Yeah, and we'll keep it here as the 2 squads now start to bring in. We'll probably see some new faces as well as Dave DeLugas is shuffling a lot of players. I'm just looking down the sidelines to see who hasn't been in there, and there hasn't. So he's done a great job of getting everybody in there, as has Ty Prude. So it's 21-0 East, 52.7 seconds to go, and a 1st and 10 at the 38 for Brian Petty's and the East squad. And the Elyria Catholic connection is in the backfield for him, and Jock Taylor and Ricky Benson. Little fake, and that'll be Jock Taylor. Taylor at the 50, 45, and he's dragged down at the 45. But a nice play there to keep him in bounds.
So they'll reset the flags, and actually no. East squad's going to call a timeout. Is that what it looks like?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Dave DeLugas is going to take a timeout as Rashard Lagarde from Admiral King came up with the tackle on the play.
Rashard, one of those 2 sport guys, excelled at basketball and football. Good to see him here in the All-Star game as well.
Yeah, Admiral King well represented, playing at their home stadium. That's got to be a thrill in itself.
Yeah, I can't imagine having the opportunity to play an all-star game and at the field that you spent most of your time at as a high school ball player. And George Daniels, certainly a lot of history here, 75 years plus of football action right here on Oberlin Avenue in Lorain.
Yeah, and the field is in excellent condition. We have a beautiful night. I mean, the shadows are now just starting to make their way across the field. The one end zone still all nice and sunny, but still it's kind of a strange feeling to be on we're not even into the summer yet, so to speak, you know,
right.
to have this kind of conditions to play a football game. And these guys down there, when you got the pads on and running around, this is actually a perfect day for football.
This is as good as it gets. You know, sometimes you get into these all-star games and you get temperatures that are up, 80, 85, 90 degrees, and certainly in northern Ohio with the high humidity kind of takes its toll on the guys. But tonight, just an absolutely perfect night to play football. You know, perfect in terms of not being extreme. You know, most football players would prefer 40 degrees and a light snow.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that in June.
So Brian Petty's back under center, and he's got the Elyria Catholic connection, Jock Taylor and Ricky Benson. Benson is the deep back. He fakes to Benson, drops back, looking. He's pressured, rolls around to the right side. Petty's still running with a football pass, and he's got a completion on the play, and that looks like Pete Storer comes up with the reception and the first down with 31 seconds to go. Nice play by Brian Petty's. Petty's really making it happen.
And give credit to his teammate, Chris Mayers, who really came back from his offensive line position, took out two guys, one guy intentionally, the other guy just by kind of being in the way, and sprung Petty's free. And
Storer was sitting right there in the middle of the defense, and Petty's going to spike the football with 26 seconds to go, a 21-0 lead. And they'll have a second down and 10 at the 27. Dave DeLugas' coaches sending in another play. He comes in with Kyle Maurer from Avon Lake. And you can expect this to be a pass play as Storer kind of shaking his thumb as he comes off after making a nice play. The young man on his way to Harvard. He was the Offensive Lombardi Award winner in Lorain County this year. So congratulations to him and best of luck as he goes on and becomes a Crimson, part of the Crimson there at Harvard. And I would probably think he's got himself a pretty bright future going to Harvard. I'm just throwing that out there.
Maybe.
You think?
We could debate that if you really want.
We'll see what kind of time we have later. Petty's now out of the shotgun, pressured. He goes to throw, and that ball is dead. I thought he looks like he was going back, but he was hit as he threw the football. So he's down by contact, brings up a third down.
Kind of waiting for him to blow the whistle. That ball moving forward out of the quarterback's hands. It was clearly a pass. The intent was there. The receiver was in the right direction. Just that bump took the ball a little off the line. Brings up a third down and 10. 20.8 seconds left in the second quarter.
Well, if nothing else, I guarantee John Lyons is going to get a chance at a field goal if they can't get this here. I'm sure Dave DeLugas will give his outgoing senior a shot.
That'd be a boot.
Petty's in the shotgun. Got Jock Taylor there blocking for him. And he rolls out, and he hits Maurer. Maurer comes up with the first down. No, he's going to be short of the first down. As he gets out of bounds, where are they going to spot it?
It's close. You know what, Mike? It's going to be real close. They're likely going to have to measure it. Well, they've spotted the ball on the floor. They're saying it on the floor, on the field. They're saying it's going to be fourth down. So let me see. Ball spotted at about, what, the 22. Backed up 29. 39-yard kick. And a timeout by the West.
Yeah, you can see where the spot is. They're about a yard short, and that was Scotty Nealon, on the catch. And Nealon just short of the first down, but Nealon, it was smart because what he was thinking was not only was he thinking first down, he was also thinking stop the clock, got to get out of bounds.
Got to get out of bounds. Give us an opportunity. You want to really make sure that you get that first down. Now, the tough part for the receiver in that instance is usually in a game you've got a stick marking first down on both sides. There is not a stick on this near side of the field, so he really had no way to gauge in addition to getting out of bounds. So you got to give him the break there, but did all the right things in the meantime to kind of make that happen. Now a little bit of decision making on both sidelines. I know West is thinking, hey, if we make the stop or the block here, stop offensively, block on the kick, we may have an opportunity to sneak one in here before the half. But on the east side of things, you've got to be thinking, are we going to let Lyons kick this or not? Is he ready?
See him out there.
Off season. Well, he's standing right behind Coach DeLugas, and he's strapped up, but I don't think he's going to walk onto the field.
No, and I think DeLugas, knowing Coach DeLugas as well as I do, I think he called a couple of plays. At 4th and 1 on the 17, and the clock is showing 1 timeout left for Coach D. So I'm thinking that he probably might have called 2 plays and said, all right, here it is. If you get the first down, why don't you get up to the line and spike it?
Get on the line.
And that'll give us 3 shots at the end zone. So with that said, back comes the East squad. See Jock Taylor back there out of Elyria Catholic. Petty's coming back under center.
Bonovich will be split out. Who else is out there?
Splitting wide right is Maurer and Nealon. Splitting wide right.
Jordan White to the near side.
Jordan White to the near side. So Petty's is going to take it himself. Petty's has got himself a first down as he gets inside the 15. And will that be the final timeout? Dave DeLugas used his final timeout as he got inside the 15 and his final timeout. So Coach D gets it done, and they're sitting there with 10 seconds to go and a 21-0 lead.
A couple shots at it. Let's go ahead and step away ourselves for just a minute. When we come back, we'll see how the last 10 seconds play out. You're listening to Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL and WLCS TV 20 in Lorain.
Planning a home renovation? Put this at the top of your to-do list. Because after 10 years, none of you are protected against tetanus and another potentially fatal disease, diphtheria. A minor injury, such as a cut or a scrape, can put you at risk for a tetanus infection. And while safety gear offers some protection, an up-to-date vaccination called the TD Booster is the best insurance against tetanus. So get the TD Booster. If it's been 10, do it again.
Fakes to Store out of bounds. 4 seconds to go. So Store out of bounds inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. So 4 seconds to go here at George Daniels Stadium. The East with the football and a 21-0 lead.
And certainly a serious threat right here. Well, no more threat.
Here's John
going to kick it. Yeah.
It's kind of a nice weapon to have in your back pocket.
Hey, you know, anytime you get in a situation like this and you've got a guy that is so deadly consistent kicking the ball, why not?
Lyons puts it up, and it is good. That'll end the first half here at George Daniels Stadium, where the East will take themselves a 24-0 lead into the locker room. And we'll take ourselves into a break as you're listening to the Lorain County All-Star Game on your Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL and WLCS TV 20.
Neurofibromatosis.
What? Neurofibromatosis, or NF, is a genetic disorder that causes tumors to grow anywhere on or in the body. It can lead to blindness, deafness, loss of limbs, brain tumors, and severe disfigurement.
Neurofibromatosis.
Let me make it easy for you. Children's Tumor Foundation. The Children's Tumor Foundation, dedicated to ending neurofibromatosis through research. Let's all start saying it.
Children's Tumor Foundation. 1,200 American youth run away from their homes every day. The National Runaway Switchboard is here to help. 1-800-RUNAWAY. If you are a runaway, thinking about running away from home, or a parent or guardian concerned about issues facing your child, call us 24 hours a day. 1-800-RUNAWAY. In times of crisis, hope is just a phone call away. 1-800-RUNAWAY.
Now, we honor Mr. Stan Hughes, who's the retiring athletic administrator from the Avon school system. Stan is retiring from his position at the end of the current school year with 30 years in the education field. Stan earned his bachelor's degree from Otterbein College and a master's in sports science from Ashland University. He started his career at Licking Valley Schools in Newark, teaching middle school science. He was both a teacher and a coach during his 16 years at Licking Valley. Stan coached middle school boys and girls track and basketball, as well as high school track, basketball, and football during this time. In 1993, Mr. Hughes became the athletic director for the Midview schools. He was instrumental in setting up their athletic council, organizing their booster groups, starting the Bob DeFranco Holiday Basketball Tournament, and the building of their new stadium. During this time, Stan also served 5 years as the head track coach for the Middies. He left Midview after 9 years to become the athletic director for the Avon school system in the 2002-03 school year. He was very instrumental in helping to set up the newly formed West Shore Conference, which began competition during the past school year. Stan helped to upgrade the outdoor fields at Avon, which included the construction of a new stadium. He has served as a certified track official for the Ohio High School Athletic Association. He's past president of the Lorain County Athletic Administrators Group, as well as the Lorain County Track and Cross Country Officials Association. He has received the State Contributor Award from the Ohio Track and Field and Cross Country Officials Association, as well as being named the LCAAA Athletic Director of the Year. Stan and his wife Gail live in Avon and have 5 children. Welcome to the Lorain County Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame, Stan Hughes. And our third honoree tonight, Mr. Bill Grooms. Bill has been a very outstanding football coach throughout his career. He's a graduate of Elyria Catholic. He played for Lorain County Football Coaches Association Hall of Famer Wayne Diedrich. He's been in coaching 26 years at Sandusky Perkins, Delphi St. John, Parma Visiting Catholic, Columbus Bishop Watterson, Midview, Berea, and of course the folks at Elyria Catholic. All so glad to have him back again, once again, on their staff. Mr. Bill Grooms, welcome to the Lorain County Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. And congratulations to all 3 honorees: Tim Elcor, WEOL Radio, Stan Hughes of Avon, and Bill Grooms of Elyria Catholic.
I am Mike Delgado of American Midwest Mortgage. If you are looking to purchase or refinance a home, I can personally help guide you in selecting a perfect program that fits your budget. Whether it's a no money down, FHA, investment property, or one of the other programs I can offer, put that side by side with our low interest rates for a great savings combination. If you want the professional, personal touch, then remember to call Mike Delgado at 440-308-1019.
Se habla español.
A Lorain County Community College degree is worth a lot. In Ohio, 2-year graduates start out earning as much or more as 4-year grads. LCCC has both 2- and 4-year degrees for careers like healthcare, engineering technology, business, and public service. It's a valuable education with 2-year degrees and the university partnership we need. 90% of our graduates find work in the area. LCCC, education for a real future.
You know, we're both starting to play with the windows. It's really cooling off here at George Daniels Stadium as we get set for second half action. The clock ticking down about 14 seconds. it's starting to feel a little bit more like fall weather in football.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, as I reminded Don, we're not even close to the summer yet. The summer solstice is upon us in about another week or so. But as time ticks down here, we're getting ready for football in the second half at George Daniel Stadium. The East Squad 24, the West Squad nothing. Mike Cairns along with Don Vincent. And we're glad you can be a part of our broadcast here on Ohio Sports Leader AM 1320 WOBL. And, of course, we're also being aired in the city of Lorain and in all around parts of Lorain
some other
tonight,
places,
the LCS TV 20. And we're very proud to have our voices on there as well. And you can watch this game next weekend, all next weekend, on TV 20. It's Saturday and Sunday, and it'll be at 9 a.m., noon, and then again 8 o'clock. And that's WLCS TV 20. So if you want to watch all the action one more time, and there's been plenty of action if you're an East Squad fan.
Yeah, no doubt.
Here in the first half. And the West Squad, they just can't. They haven't scored yet in the ball game, and now they've got to turn around and kick to an East Squad whose offense they have not been able to figure out, and whose offense they have not been able to keep off the field due to turnovers for the most part.
Well, deep to receive for the East Squad. Dowdell and Benson are bookending Jordan White.
And Lindless will make the pass here and get ready to throw the old left foot into it, and he does. That one's up, and Jordan White going to pick it up inside his 20, gets across the 20, starts out to his right, cuts back, tries to get up to the 25. He's met by Reyes and a host of tacklers up there, just shy of the 25. They'll have a 1st and 10 at the 24.
And White just did not want to go down. He had about 5 blue jerseys all the way around him and kind of wrapping him up and trying to pull him down, and he was just refusing it. He wasn't going to have it.
No, he was definitely he was a man on a mission, and he's had a very good ball game. He hasn't found the end zone, but it's because of him that they were able to set it up, because Jordan White is one of those triple threats, so to speak. He can get you a little bit of everything. So they'll come out 1st and 10 at 24. Brian Petties will be under center for his East Squad. And he's got Jock Taylor in the back, and he fakes it to Taylor, a little swing pass here, and that's caught by Kyle Maurer, and Maurer's pushed out of bounds just shy of the 30.
Is that Maurer or is that Murillo? Might have been Murillo coming out of the fullback.
Was it Murillo? Oh, yeah. I thought maybe Maurer came out on a little slant. I see Maurer over there, too. There's the replay.
I'm pretty sure it was.
33 or was it 30? Yeah, you're right. It was Sean Morello coming out of the backfield, and that was the play that set up the touchdown, the first touchdown of the ball game.
Exactly.
So they kind of ran it the same way, and they'll pick up about 4, bring it up a 2nd and 6 now at the 28.
Now, Mike, the wind picking up just a little bit, coming from the east to the west.
Hand off to Ricky Benson. Benson starts to the right side, puts his head into that defensive line, gets to the 30, and he's dumped at about the 31-yard line. So he'll pick up 3 more. It'll be 3rd and 3. For the East Squad at their own 33. They're up 24-0. Kind of looking to add to the lead. Here as we begin quarter number 3. George Daniel Stadium, and an absolutely beautiful evening. We started off probably temps in the 70s. We've dipped down probably into the low 60s. By then, we've probably had a good 5 to 6 degree drop. It is a clear night, and the stands are packed, and all these people starving for football just as we are here. We're glad you could be a part of it. Little up back goes to Morello. Morello fights his way for the first down as he gets across the 35 to the 37, picks up a 6. And the East Squad chewing up clock and chewing up ground.
Well, again, you hate to be redundant about this kind of stuff, but Dave DeLugas knows how to protect the lead. And, when it comes to just kind of grinding things out, how many times did we see this last season, the season before that, the season before that? You jump out early in the first and second quarters, and then the rest of the game is just kind of grinded out. So look for the East Squad to do that. It's going to be incumbent upon the West Squad now to kind of find a way to force a turnover or really gum up the works of the East Squad offense.
Yeah, Dave likes to kind of grind things out. And there's Brian Petties, and has his pass deflected as he was rolling out, wanted Sean Morello over in the left flat. Ron Lindless from Admiral King comes up with the deflection.
Link is just, again, we talked about the fact that the West Squad needs to make a difference in the game, and Link is able to get a big paw up on the ball, knock it down. There's a player down on the field right now, looking to get a number on that. Let me see, who is that? Reyes.
Yeah, that's Reyes out of Amherst.
Okay.
He's up, though, and he's a little shaken up on the play. He's kind of walking off. Looks like he's all right, walking off under his own power.
Well, a little bit of an added feature in the second half tonight. We've actually got our engineer, David Q, down on the sidelines. David Q from Lorain, so he's familiar with the friendly confines here at George Daniel. David, how's it going down there?
It's going down. How's it going up there?
Well, you know, we're enjoying life right now, I got to tell you.
Well, you know, you guys were mentioning about the weather and the fact we're playing football. The only thing that makes me think it's not winter, or shall I say fall, is the trees and the grass.
Yeah, they have done a nice job here at George Daniel. The field in absolutely perfect condition, so we'd like to give a big thumbs up to the ground crew here at the stadium, because this field is in perfect shape, an all-star game type of shape. We're just underway, third quarter. From George Daniel, a 24-0 lead. First, we'll call it second and 10, from the 36 for the East squad. Brian Petty's, the handoff to Benson. Benson is stuffed on the play. Benson met there by number 54. That's Brandon Slatoff.
From Amherst.
From Amherst, who comes up with the stick. Nice play.
Now, I got to tell you, the officials were throwing their beanbags down on the field. I'm wondering if the ball didn't come loose at some point.
Yes, it did come loose, but he recovered his own fumble.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
I like that. It's nice to have a sideline guy down there,
Somebody
too,
actually knows what's going on. All right, let's not get carried away.
Yes, let's not.
3rd and 10 from the 36 as he was met for no gain. Sean Morello and Benson split. Petty's now rolling to his left, sets up. Saw somebody covered, starts scrambling. He's going to take it and tuck it. He gets across the 40, and he's brought down there at about the 43-yard line, so it'll be West ball, and they'll get it on downs.
Well, you know, a good decision that time by Petty's not to go downfield with the ball. He had a receiver. He had Kyle Maurer downfield, but really did not have a clean look in terms of getting the ball to him. You know, go ahead, tuck the ball, move upfield. You still got a down to go, and you're ending up with a 4th and 5 instead of a potential turnover if you force the ball into the coverage.
And they're going to go for it on 4th and 5. Petty's is back in there. He's got Jordan White split wide right. And he's got Maurer split wide left, Morello and Benson in the backfield. Morello's the up back as they're in the eye, kind of the off shift eye. And back to passes, Petty's looking deep. He's got White wide open. White the catch, 30. Cuts it to 25, 20, 15, 10, and he's dragged down on a beautiful pass play from Petty's to Jordan White.
Nice adjustment by White that time on the ball. The nice move afterward, and Joe Moore saved a touchdown from behind. The Clearview graduate wrapped up White from behind and brought him down at the 10. But again, the East with just a nice look at the end zone, and again, you kind of wait here for what we've seen from Avon Lake time and time again. Bet that Sean Morello is going to touch the ball in the next couple downs.
47 yards on the pass play, and now a 1st and 10 from just outside the 10 for the E squad. And I wouldn't be surprised. Morello's in there along with Ricky Benson out of Elyria Catholic. Petty's fakes it to Benson, rolls left, fires into the end zone, and he had a man wide open but couldn't connect. Kyle Maurer wide open but threw behind him, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 11.
And Paris Hilliard really defensively for the West squad was out on coverage and really forced that throw to go a little bit behind, so may have through coverage prevented that touchdown.
All right, so 2nd and 10 from the 10 as Maurer comes out. And his teammate from Avon Lake, Scotty Nealon, replaces him. Nealon going to be lined up wide left. Jordan White wide right. Morello's the up back. Benson is the deep back, and it's off to Benson. Benson gets inside the 10, pushes the pile down to just short of the 5, where he stopped, and that'll bring up a 3rd down for the East. A host of tacklers in there for the West squad. I see Joe Moore from Clearview get up off the pile. He was in there. I also see David Berry from Wellington.
Corey Turner in there as well from Clearview.
A couple of guys that we haven't had a chance to call tonight were all in there. And now their backs are against the goal. 3rd and 6 from the 6, and they are trying to keep the C squad from piling on.
Mike, it looks like they can actually get another 1st down here.
Yeah,
movement on the offensive line.
And that'll be called, and Maurer catches the ball. Would have been a touchdown, but that's going to come back. Poor Kyle Maurer. Although he did get in the end zone at one point. But, you know, that's what happens when you get penalties.
You know,
what can you do?
I'm not going to feel too bad for the young man. I mean, life has been pretty okay for you if you're an Avon Lake football player,
Yeah, they're getting, again, another Southwest Conference title for Avon Lake. And they're looking to keep it alive. And Coach DeLuga saying one of the spots he's concerned about this year is quarterback for his team. And that's always been a concern in Avon Lake. It's been the quarterback because you know what you're getting offensively and defensively. Okay. Pettis takes the snap to Jordan White, and that's broken up on the play by Rashawn Lagarde from Admiral King, who was over there to get a hand in there. And just a little out pattern from White at the corner, the right corner in the end zone. He was open for a moment, but Lagarde came over and made a nice play.
Lagarde just read that ball really well, closed well on it from essentially a free safety position coming out to the corner, and just timed it up, knocked the ball away, and did a nice job there.
So Kyle Stokes comes in for Benson. John Lyons is going to come in as they bring on the field goal team. He's going to spot this. It looks about at his 18. So we'll call it look like about a 28-yard field goal attempt.
Sean Bonovich from North Ridgeville to hold.
Thank you. I was looking to see the number. He's got the red shoes on there. And the snap, the kick, and that is up. And it's good. Second field goal tonight for John Lyons. 7:41 to go, third quarter. 3 more for the East. They're up 27-0. We'll take this timeout as you're listening to the Lorain County All-Star Game on the Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320, WOBL, and WLCS TV 20.
Hi, Mr. President. My parents believe that eating meals together will make our country strong. Is it something that you did when you were a kid?
I did eat with my family so long as my mother wasn't cooking.
Not good making fun of your mother, even if you are president. But it is good to have dinner with your kids. We know the more often children have dinner with their families, the less likely they are to smoke, drink, and use drugs. So simply having dinner together can help your children forever, even if you're not a great cook.
So, you feel tired? You've put on some weight? Your joints hurt? Well, you're getting older. But there's some simple things we can do to keep you happy and healthy for years to come. Proper nutrition. Less treats, a basic exercise plan, lots of walks and fresh air, and see me for twice yearly checkups. Now, how does that sound? Good boy.
Improve the quality of life for your elderly pet. The message from the veterinary members of the American Animal Hospital Association.
And welcome back, George Daniel Stadium. Mike Cairns along with Don Vincent and our own David Q patrolling the sidelines. And it's 27-0. East. Another field goal by Johnny Lyons.
While we were away, we were talking about Roger Smith and see if we could spot him up. He's actually on the sideline right now, but he's out of uniform. He's in shorts and a T-shirt, has a ball in his hand, just kind of tossing it around. So his action for tonight is done.
Maybe we can get David Q over there to pull him even at one point, you know, and then get a little something from him. He is on his way to Youngstown State. And, boy, what a great pickup that is. The Penguin fans are going to love that guy. Johnny Lyons tees it up, and that one drops at about the 20, and it's finally picked up.
It's Custis.
And Custis is crushed back at the 17-yard line, where the West will take over.
It was just an odd kick again. The spiral on the ball from Lyons this evening is just kind of different. He's kind of teeing it up a little bit. It's laying back a little bit. Took a strange bounce. Custis able to get a hold of it and maintain control. A good thing for the West squad there. Now they've got the work cut out for them, though. Yes. They've got a long part of the field to go.
So Maskovich will come back out. The couple of Amherst backs back there for him. Alfie Reyes is the deep back. So Maskovich squats under center. Down by 27. Reyes with the football. Reyes cuts in and you see hammered down. And is that Jim Coyne that came up with a big hit? I believe it is. Number 50, Jim Coyne. Boy, just absolutely laid the wood to him. If you're watching the replay, take a look at this. Coyne, number 50, will be on the left side of your screen. Reyes, you can see him come up. Here comes Coyne. Coyne fills the gap. And it is contact time. Hello, and welcome to the Lorain County All-Star Game. I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Jim Coyne. 7:04 to go. Pickup of 2, but a rough 2. 2nd and 8 at the 21. And the handoff to the up back. And that's Reyes as well. No, that's not Reyes.
No, it was not.
No, it's
We've got to start flipping through our sheets here.
Yeah.
That was John Davis from Amherst with the carry.
Davis has been in there, and he'll stay in there. Okay. So we're making adjustments. It's this is one of the fun things about doing an all-star game.
Oh, yeah.
There's about 1,000 names that you have to. It's not like our regular season where the offenses very rarely change, and so do the defenses. You pretty much have.
Only when necessary.
Absolutely. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 8. It was no gain on the play. 3rd and 8 from the 21.
Simmons to the near side. Looks like Lagarde to the far side.
Simmons and Dowdell's on him, and that's the pitch, and that goes to Reyes. Reyes comes up with it. That's actually Zach Harrison.
Yeah.
Harrison back in the football game. That's number 24. He is back in the football game. Boy, that is great to see. I mean, that is great to see. And he's walking under his own power. He's obviously cutting. He looks fine. So that is a very, very good sign.
Well, you looked at that hit early in the game, and you just thought that he had major damage, but boy, the ability to recoup here and credit his work ethic, I'm sure. The fact that he works out regularly and really works on those particular joints and muscles.
Lindless gets one off the side of his foot that was partially deflected, drops at his own 40 to the 45, and that's going to be touched up there by one of his own players and downed. And East will have the ball. Chris Davis out of Wellington comes up and touches the ball at their own 45, so the East will start in West Territory. 1st and 10 for Brian Petties and company as they come back out on the field. And who's he going to bring out there with him? Looks like Ricky Benson is back out there, the Elyria Catholic running back, along with Kyle Maurer.
I think both EC running backs are out there.
Benson and Taylor will be in the backfield for Brian Petties. 1st and 10 from the 45.
Like White will split left, and to the near side you've got Maurer.
White, yep, that has been a great combination too. A lot of stuff is open up. The offset eye, Jock Taylor up, and it's flipped to Benson. Benson going to pull up and throw. He's got Jordan White wide open and overthrew him.
Man,
what a play.
Nice ball from Benson. I mean, it's as tight a spiral as we have seen all night long. Just laid it about a yard too far. White couldn't quite chase it down.
Dave DeLugas going and calling the same play that they scored on earlier when Jordan White threw that touchdown pass. So they kind of went back the other way, but this time Jordan White on the receiving end. White hit Scotty Nealon back in the 2nd quarter on that 47-yard bomb.
Go ahead, David.
You know, guys, you kind of wonder if they would have made that connection had it been mid-season. You know, we are playing this midsummer now.
That's true.
That's a very good point.
That's true. And again, as Don pointed out, you are playing an offense that you're not familiar with.
Exactly.
As well. So
makes a difference.
It does make a big difference. Petties to White, who was in the backfield for this play. White cuts back, and he gets across the 40 to about the 38. So he picks up about 6 on the play. And I tell you what, Jordan White is one heck of a football player.
I really enjoy watching him move. I mean, his feet are just so good. He's got the ability to stop and go, hesitate, change direction, slide through, and it's just a pleasure to watch a young man with that much just ability. I want to see him as he matures. He's certainly going to play some college ball as he continues to grow and become stronger and more confident in his abilities. He'll be fun to watch.
3rd and 5 for Petties. He hands it to White. White around the right side. He's going to be well short of the 1st down as he's cracked into it about the 37. White on his way to Western Michigan. He'll be a Bronco. And they will love him there, and the Rangers will miss him severely because North Ridgeville football, folks, if you haven't heard, they are alive and well and back on the map and probably in line to have another great season this year as well.
Doing some nice things. I mean, they've got a lot of kids coming back off of that very successful team from last year. They've lost some key players, no doubt. Don't get me wrong. But this is a team that's going to have some skilled individuals coming back.
4th and 4 from the 38. Petty's rolling left. He spots White under the coverage. That'll be a 1st down as White gets to the 30, spins out of one tackle, and he's dragged out of bounds about the 29.
I guess this is just our opportunity to sing Jordan White's praises. Another great catch there that time. He kind of stutter-stepped a little bit just to give himself a chance to catch the ball. Caught it back over his back shoulder, actually. Tucked it away and headed upfield. Did a nice job just kind of managing the ball and getting the catch, getting the 1st down, and putting the East squad in a nice opportunity here for another score.
Reyes slowed him down, but the tackle made by Chad Jordan, who is the backup quarterback in this ball game out of Clearview that we haven't seen yet. But Jordan,
we may see him at quarterback here in a minute.
We might. We did see them warming up. So 1st and 10 from the 30. White is the deep back. The fake by Petties to White. He wants to throw, steps up in the pocket, but there's a host of West squatters there, and he is dragged down on the play. And it looks like another Admiral King guy in there on the play. Oh, it's Juan Williams out of Southview.
Yeah, don't get those Southview and Admiral King guys
sorry,
confused.
I know as a Saint,
I mean, they're all friends,
Excuse
but
me. Excuse me, I was going by the helmet color and nothing else. The helmet, I just saw the black helmet, and I go, all right. I don't want to get. I know that the Admiral King in Southfield, although you do share this field, so just behave yourself.
It's a love-hate thing.
Yeah, pickup of 2. 2nd and 8 from the 28. Petties gets it to the upback Jock Taylor. Taylor's crashed into there and brought down. Nice pickup there as he gets inside the 25 to about the 24.
How do you complain? It's a 5-yard pickup, and he doesn't get hit as a running back until he's into the linebackers.
Matt Rodriguez out of Vermilion comes up with the tackle. And some changes now as Taylor goes out. Sean Morello comes in. Morello and Taylor are the fullbacks for this football game. And Petties gets some of his former teammates and old teammates and soon-to-be ex-teammates in there. Kyle Maurer is going to be split wide left, and Dowdell from North Ridgeville going to be split wide right. The offset eye will have Morello the up back, and it'll have Mr. Jordan White as the deep back. Petty's turn spins, gives it the up back Morello, who is met there, and he is brought down. A great play, again, by Matt Rodriguez out of Vermilion, who came up, and he got some help on the play as well. So he by Gabe Washington out of Admiral King, but it was Rodriguez who made the initial hit.
And I'm going to give a little love to my buddy, Matt Rodriguez's dad, who affectionately known back in the Southview days as Hondo, played ball with me, was a year ahead of me there. So, and I know Hondo and his wife are here as well as the rest of the family. So
would he be Little Hondo? Could
yeah,
he get that
actually,
nickname? He could be Little Hondo, couldn't he?
He could be.
4th and 3 from the 24. A minute 49 to go. Petty's pump, fake, going deep for the score, and touchdown! Brian Petty's to Kyle Maurer.
Weren't you
and
saying
the round
poor
is on.
Kyle a while ago?
Poor Kyle no more. Touchdown pass to Kyle Maurer, 24 yards, and it's now 33-0. And we talked a little bit about this in the pregame that if you just looked at the rosters, you're talking a lot of big schools against a lot of smaller schools, and it's nothing against the smaller schools, but when you watch high school football for a long time, you pretty much know, and we're both in favor of splitting the squads up and making it even. I mean, that's a format that I would rather see. I mean, keep your teammates on the same team, but Amherst is probably the biggest school, one of the biggest schools on that West squad. Oh, they're going to fake the kick. And rolling to the left side is Benovich. Benovich tried to dump it off.
Oh, my. He can go. Can't you score? Isn't that a live ball? I guess not.
Hey, guys, it was a fumble. It wasn't a...
Oh, okay. Okay.
Chad Jordan picked it off.
Shows you what I know. Oh, well.
That's why we got our guy down there on the sideline.
Thank goodness for David Q.
1:42 to go here at George Daniels Stadium, and the East is in control. We're going to take a timeout. They're up 33-0. You're listening to the Lorain County All-Star Game on the Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL and WLCS TV 20.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
Most people with diabetes also have high blood pressure and cholesterol, which can cause severe heart damage. In fact, 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die from heart disease or stroke.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Call for your free diabetes survival guide. Choose to live.
33-0, East squad in control. Minute 42 to go in the third quarter. And, boy, you know what? I want to see the West get on the scoreboard just because it's an all-star game. The last thing you want to do, you don't
want to get blanked.
No. You want to be brought behind the woodshed on this one. Johnny Lyons tees it up and sends the spiraling rocket all the way down, and that's picked up inside the 5 to the 15. And down on the play is Jordan Simmons. Simmons got about 5 on the play before he is met by a host of E-squatters.
The West squad had the return to the right going on. They caught the ball on the left side of the field and had to really traverse pretty much the whole field to Simmons and just couldn't make the corner. By the time he got over there, the defense was ready for him, and that shut things down. Now this West squad, 1st and 10 on the 10.
Samaskovich has been at quarterback all game long. As you take a look at the replay, if you're watching on TV 20, this is kind of the botched extra point there.
Oh, that looked like it might
I don't
have been
know.
good.
Yeah, I think it should. I don't know. That's pretty close to me. Samaskovich back. He's got Simmons wide open in the flat. Simmons makes a great catch.
Nice catch.
Touches up out of bounds. First down. The nice catch from Simmons just
right
across the 20.
Right in front of David Q.
I don't know who number 40 is. He actually had a finger on that ball.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
That would be Dan Dowdell out of North Ridgeville.
Wow.
Nice eyes there, Q.
Thanks.
That's a heck of a catch. Great effort defensively by Dowdell, but wonderful job that time by the Admiral King grad, Jordan Simmons.
It's hopefully that'll give Samaskovich and his teammates some confidence that they can start throwing the football and moving this offense.
Well, they got out of that hole.
Yeah, that was big. They'll take 1st and 10 at the 22. Samaskovich with Reyes in the backfield.
Receivers all over the place.
Yeah,
Twins on both sides.
Yeah, twins split on both sides. Samaskovich back to pass. Wide open on the play, but hit and dropped. Joe Moore had the ball for a moment, but it was slammed out of him. Was that Kyle Stokes down there on the play?
There's an injured player.
Number 40.
That was Dowdell again, out of North Ridgeville. Comes up with a pop and separating the football from Joe Moore.
David, is that who's down on the field right now?
Yes.
Okay, Dowdell.
He's on his back now.
Okay, made the contact and hasn't gotten up just yet. The training crew down there taking a peek at him.
Maybe it's one of those where he led with the head, and maybe he's just a little dinged up. If they take a look at the replay here, as Samaskovich has got him wide open, and there it is. You can take a look. And he looked good. He's up. He's walking off. Maybe just, one of the little stingers, as they call it in football. It's a little stinger.
You get knocked a little silly once in a while. I've been there a couple times. He actually started heading toward the west sideline, which is across the field, and they said, hey, wait a minute. You might come back this way, Dan.
You've been silly? Not silly?
Oh, man.
I thought we're still in that stage. But that's another story for another night. How long do we have? Not much.
See, the problem with that is I still don't remember what exactly happened. There's this blank space in my life.
Minute 24 to go here at George Daniels Stadium. That's Don Vincent. I'm Mike Cairns, and it's a 33-0 lead on 2nd and 10. And Karras is going to get the football. And Karrason gets up to the line of scrimmage, picks up a couple on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down for the West. It's nice to see Zach Karrason back in there on his way to Northwood in Michigan to play football.
Well, there's a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up as I'm watching him walk back to the huddle. But, I would have put money we wouldn't have seen that young man back out on the field today. We're under a minute left in the 3rd quarter.
So the center will be Matt Staveski out of Firelands. He's on his way to Ohio Wesleyan as well, so his football career continue. Fumbled on the snap between Staveski. And coming to the left sideline around a broken play. And Samaskovich is run out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. So a loss on the play brings up 4th and 7.
Well, you mentioned Ohio Wesleyan. That's Coach Jeff Ramsey, who just left us. Not going to be too happy about that young man going out Owu way.
Yeah, Staveski at Firelands going to Ohio Wesleyan. Gabe Washington, who we've called, he's going to Ohio Northern. Jordan Simmons, we've talked quite a bit about tonight, on his way to Bluffton.
Which is a good match for him. I like that for him.
Yeah, I think so too. Linkus comes back. Dropped it off, and Jordan White's just going to let it roll and be touched up down there at about the 37-yard line, and that's where the East will take over with 31 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter and a 33-point lead for Dave DeLugas' squad.
And again, the wind really starting to pick up here in George Daniel. Our papers are blowing all over the place, so if we sound a little bit more confused than even normal, that's our excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's not a stretch.
Who gave that guy a mic, will you?
I know. Whose idea was that?
Jeez. What brain surgeon told Q to get down there with a microphone?
He is the engineer. He put us on the air.
He's a damn good one, too. 31 seconds to go. 33-0, a 1st and 10 at the 37. Pettis has Morello and White. The pitch to White, running left side, got blockers and room as he tries to cut back. Gets through one blocker and then crosses the 40 to about the 43 before he is dragged down on the play.
You know, I don't want to kind of rub salt in the wound here for the West squad, but, man, I would really like to see Jordan White with a little bit of green in front of him and just see how fast he actually is as we set to wrap up here things in the 3rd quarter. The clock down to 4. That'll take us into the 4th quarter.
And that'll take us to a break as we've played 3 here at the Lorain County All-Star Game at George Daniel Stadium. The East 33, the West still looking for the first score of the night. And you're listening to the Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL and WLCS TV 20.
It's not uncommon for a professional golfer to hole a bunker shot for a miraculous birdie. For the rest of us, the bogey save is no less dramatic. Log on to playgolfamerica.com to discover new and easy ways to get more golf into your life.
Play golf, America.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world dedicated solely to teaching peace to a new generation. There's a new symbol for peace. Rotary.
Welcome back to the Lorain County All-Star Game. 33-0. So we get ready to start the 4th quarter of play at George Daniel Stadium. Mike Aarons along with Don Vincent. And both teams huddled up, getting ready for the 4th quarter.
David Q also joining our broadcast team. He's down on the sidelines, patrolling, as it were.
Hey, Q, what's the mood down there? You can sense, I mean, you're down on the East squad sideline. They're up by 33 points. Well, can you hear anything down there? What are they talking about?
They're all talking about where they're going to go after the game. No, they're all laughing, smiling, having a good old time, wishing each other good luck, and stuff like that.
You can tell that's a very close-knit unit. As we mentioned early in the broadcast, they're all wearing Avon Lake stickers because Dave DeLugas, the Shoreman head coach, is the head coach of the team, and they practiced there all week and just kind of threw out stickers and had a good time. And now Pettis is going to stay in at quarterback. He's gone the whole way. Roger Smith is out of uniform, sitting down there in shorts and a T-shirt.
There might actually be 7 Shoremen going in this offensive series.
Yeah, I see.
Depends on whether or not Maurer joins them.
Yeah, I see Maurer and Storer, and of course Pettis. Scott Nealon is down there. Nope, it's going to be 6, but still.
That's a ton
6 out of 11 is not bad. Storer up there on the line. The offensive Lombardi Award winner headed to Harvard. And
that's amazing.
I think that's really impressive, you know.
In terms of athletics, number one, to be that good, but then also to be able to put it together academically.
Yeah, one of the tops in his class.
Amazing.
2nd and 3 from the 43 as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. And the East with the football and a big lead. Petty's now under center. He's got Morello and Jordan White. He's going to pitch to White. Running right. White cuts back, gets through one blocker and another, but he's met just short of the 45, gets up to the 44, gain of about 1.
It was Reyes in on the first contact for the West squad. Doing a nice job just getting inside, making contact. Alfie Reyes from Amherst.
Yeah, Amherst also well represented tonight.
Very well represented.
And they're just going to keep on. Hopefully, this is a typical Dave DeLugas football here. He's going to start running behind that offensive line and try to run this clock out.
The other side of things, Ty Grude's really, what are you going to do here? It's going to be tough to get the turnover because they're going to run the ball.
And that was Petty's faking to the deep back and gives it to the up back, Sean Morello, but Morello's met there, and they're going to turn this ball over on downs. It'll be 4th down for the East, and the West will set up and get ready. Rashawn Lagarde going to be back deep along with Jordan Simmons.
A couple of AK grads.
Couple of AK grads getting ready to field the punt. And it's going to be Scotty Nealon punting, who also did some punting for Avon Lake. So Nealon going to punt. And back there is Lagarde and Simmons, who's on his way to Bluffton.
Everybody taking their time right now, which is understandable.
Well, they're waiting for one extra guy. They were a guy short.
Both squads were a guy short.
Come on, everybody. Let's go. We need 11. Count them up. And now we're set to go.
They're going to throw the flag.
And delay a game.
You know, you just didn't need to. But, hey, it's okay.
Delay a game on the E squad. I'll set him back 5.
Now, hopefully not watch. That official's going to watch the tape, and I'm going to get a letter at the station. Okay, just have any complaints, please address them to Dave DiNatale, sports director.
Yeah, who's at like a graduation party or something?
Yeah, he's
tonight.
out partying. I don't know.
We're here working. We're blue-collaring it right here.
That's it.
As Nealon gets it.
Oh, my.
Deep into the night air. Called for a fair catch as Lagarde, and he's got it at about the 24-yard line, and that's where the West will take over. First and 10.
It's a 36-yard kick with about 4.5 seconds worth of hang time on it.
Perfect kick from Nealon, and you can see why Lagarde decided to say, I'm going to just put my hand up on this one.
Yeah, you know what? You catch that one, it's just like you might as well get on 21st Street and head toward Community Health Partners because it's going to be a tough ride.
So the West will take over first and 10 from the 23. Samaskovich has gone the whole way at quarterback. And I believe for the first time, I don't know if we'll get to see Chad Jordan. We've seen Jordan make defensive plays, but Samaskovich has got the Amherst guys in the backfield. He's got Reyes and Karrison. He's going to be back to pass, and that is nearly picked off as he went into the left sideline. That's Dowdell over there breaking it up from North Ridgeville.
You know, at halftime, we saw Samaskovich. We also saw Chad Jordan really spending a lot of time warming up the arms along the sideline. So anticipate now that the West squad's really going to start airing things out and taking a look downfield.
Well, Samaskovich has the better arm, and definitely they needed Jordan on defense. So I think that's the way that Coach Grude decided to go. He said, you know what, if that's what necessary, and you never like to see injuries in an all-star game.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the way things have gone. So they'll go for second and 10 to 24, and it'll be a handoff.
Williams.
Running right side is Juan Williams out of Southview, and changes direction, goes to left side.
Oh, my.
He's got the 30, he's got a lot of room. 40, 45, 50, gets across the 50, still on his feet before he's dragged down at about the 46-yard line. Juan Williams out of Southview on a change of direction on a pretty play, pitched it right, saw it coming back the other way, and Juan Williams with a huge gain tonight.
29-yard pickup.
29-yard pickup, and he is in West Territory. The biggest play of the night as you take a look at the replay here on TV 20. Look at Williams. Sense of direction. When he gets out to the left sideline, there is nobody there. You're thinking he's got a chance, but he's finally dragged down. And a nice play slowing him down was Sean Bunovich out of North Ridgeville.
And some great blocks from the offensive line.
Samaskovich going deep down the middle, and it is almost picked off on the play by Ryan Castaneda out of Brookside, and he has had a whale of a game back there in the free safety spot tonight.
Yeah,
he was playing corner on that play and nearly came up with the pick. He should have had it, and he's sitting there, down there on the sideline going, oh,
man.
It's the All-Stars. One thing.
I needed that one.
Give me one thing, will you?
Hilliard was out there as the intended receiver, and give Hilliard credit, did a nice job that time. Once the ball was bobbled, really wrapped up the defender to make sure that he didn't get a piece of that. We're watching the replay on WLCS, and I want to say thanks to Joe Bach for bringing us all the playback and just spending some time with us.
3rd and 10 from the 46, and you can bet they're 4-down territory right now. They want to make something happen. That's Karrison there on the run to the left side, gets it close to the 40, going to be stopped about a yard short at about the 41. So a pickup of about 5, bring up 4th and 5. And oh yeah, they're going to be going for it. I see Simmons coming in as they start to move guys around a little bit.
You know, Mike, I think it's still 3rd down, 3rd and 6.
Is it 3rd and 6?
Yeah.
The clock is messing with me tonight. I'm telling you, I'm not going to listen to the clock, okay? Simmons now is split wide right, and they're just messing around with me.
They know you're watching.
Fakes it, rolls right. He's going down. He wants Simmons. Castaneda. He turns around, touchdown! What a play by Simmons. Castaneda lost his man. And Simmons caught the ball for the touchdown. 41 yards, and they're on the board.
Simmons essentially pulled a hitch and go while the ball was in the air. Check this replay in just a second. Took his route along the seam along the right side, got down to about somewhere between the 10 and the 5-yard line, hitched up a little bit.
Here we go.
Waited for the ball to arrive, made a play on it. Maybe could have been possibly called for a push-off. No flag on the play. Catches the ball at about the 4-yard line and dances on in. Touchdown for the West squad. Good to see them up on the board.
Castaneda, though, lost his man. You can see he got turned around and just lost track of where Simmons was. And what a great one. We've been getting great replays. This is good. I said.
I like this.
He's coming with me on all my games, okay? I'm gonna talk to the guys and see if we can get that in the budget.
I think the folks at Lorain City Schools might have something to say about that.
That's all right. We'll give them a piece. They're gonna go for 2, but brought down on the play is Garrison. So they'll settle for 6. 8:58 to go. West on the scoreboard, 33-6. And of course, you're listening to the Lorain County Annual All-Star Game on your Ohio sports leader, AM 1320, WOBL, and WLCS TV 20.
Is she thirsty or diabetic? Is he tired or arthritic? Subtle behavioral changes can be early signs of disease in pets. These changes are often less obvious in cats, which can be better than dogs at hiding illness. But a wellness exam from your veterinarian twice a year can help detect, treat, or prevent many health problems before they become serious. So call your veterinarian and schedule your pet's wellness exam today.
Once it was silent, but the spirit of America made liberty ring. And once it was weak, but the spirit of America made hope stand tall. And if our spirit can do all this, imagine what we can do for all Americans in poverty. We can let liberty ring for millions of kids in need. We can let freedom stand for every family working for independence. Poverty in America, we can end it, and everyone can help. Learn how at povertyusa.org.
The Mike Cairns, along with Don Vincent, David Q patrolling the sidelines, and things are starting to get chilly. We're actually picking up a breeze, but we're happy the West squad is on the scoreboard thanks to a 41-yard touchdown pass from Samaskovich to Jordan Simmons, who made a great play. It's 33-6 now.
Two Admirals hook up one more time. That's kind of nice. You like to see that happening as well.
Something to talk about is the season winds down and you start thinking about other things like college.
15 years from now, they'll be talking about that.
I would be.
You remember back when?
I would be. And the wind picks up and blew the ball. It looked like
no, I don't know why they stopped it.
And you can try to get on. Onside kick by the West. It's deflected and the East gets it. Not a problem there as they start to.
Was that Sean Hughes from Columbia? It was, as a matter of fact. First time we've had the opportunity to bring Sean's name to you. He's been in and out for the better part of the game, but he was the sure hands guy on that particular play. Did a nice job catching the ball. Did what every good football player should do in that situation. You catch it, you drop.
Yep.
You don't wait for that hit to come.
That play brought to you by the Good Hands, people.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
There's another sponsorship opportunity.
I'm just trying. Yeah, our sales staff is awesome. So not that I need any help from me. I'm just pointing out where all the opportunities are for. Hey, they're the ones that drive all the nice cars, anyways. I mean,
I've noticed that.
Petties rolls out on the play fake, avoids one tackle, avoids another one.
How did he do that?
He's got to keep and tuck it. 50, 45. Fumble. He fumbles the football. The West squad jumps on it, and it looks like maybe one of the East players might have got in there at the last minute, but they're going to have to unpile. Petties was cutting back towards the 40, hit, and fumbled the football, and I think the East squad hung on.
Stay with the East.
Who's in there?
Coming up with it, I think.
That's Bunovich. I believe it's Bunovich from North Ridgeville.
Or was it Nielsen? Might have been. I don't
82.
know.
That was Lely Spencer from North Ridgeville. I knew it was a North Ridgeville player.
They're looking at it on the replay. Yeah, there he was, right on top of it.
And David Berry out of Wellington had a shot for the West squad because when that ball was fumbled, he was right there. And Spencer from North Ridgeville keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10 at the 40. Petties, they're going to go back, and he's going to air it out. He's going up top. That one's deflected and knocked away by Rodriguez out of Vermilion. Matt Rodriguez got a hand on it. Nice play.
Bunovich was the intended receiver, made a nice play back on the ball, but give Rodriguez credit, really maintained his coverage and made the play on the ball.
And Dave DeLugas is not running the clock out here. He is letting his
isn't it?
senior have a good old time. And, to Brian Petty's credit, when he got the starting job, I know there was a lot of people that wondered about his arm strength and his toughness, but I'll tell you what, he was one of the reasons why the Shoremen went as far as they did last year. He had a great season. He pitches it to Jordan White, running right at the 40, 35. White gets to the sideline, and he's going to be pushed out at about the 33-yard line. So he's going to come up with a gain of about 7, which will bring up 3rd down.
Let's see who was out there on the stop. It was Kevin Custis from South. He wrapped him up and dragged him out of bounds.
Custis out there leading the charge. 33-6, 8 minutes and 9 seconds to go. On a beautiful night, George Daniels Stadium for the 25th annual Lorain County All-Star Game. Mike Cairns along with Don Vincent, David Q down on the sideline. We have a 3rd and 4.
Oh, we haven't heard from Q for a while.
At the 34. I saw pizza down there, so there could be Q down there getting
that
pizza.
Or the Gatorade. I'm not sure which.
He's ready to the dunk. And that's a handoff to White. That was sniffed out. And a big hit in the backfield there.
It's nice to see the energy coming off of the west sideline right now. I mean, they're really pumped up about that stop right there. Brings up a 4th down and 6. Maybe 4th and 7. It's kind of somewhere in between there. Obviously, these squads going to go for it in this situation. They got nothing to lose. They're just looking to take time off the clock. But, boy, they're excited about making that stop.
Ron Linkus was in on the stop, made the solo tackle, and for a loss of 2. We'll call it 4th and 6 from the 37. Petty's under center, and he's got White in the backfield who he fakes a handoff to, avoids the pressure, avoids one tackler. Now he tucks it in, 35, got the first down, 30, and gets right to the 30, and he is stuffed there.
It's going to be close, Mike.
He was reaching. David Q down on the sideline.
It looks like he's getting a favorable spot from my vantage point here.
And you have a great vantage point. You're right down there in front of the play.
No, they're going to mark him short.
Oh, all right, so they're going to be turned over on downs as Petty's reached for the play, but just couldn't get there. Gabe Washington at Admiral King, number 45, came up on the stop, and a big stop right there.
Looking at the replay in WLCS, I mean...
Along with Alfie Reyes.
Boy, it was right there.
Reyes and Washington.
Interesting enough, the officials have decided to let us head the other way, and that may be a tip of the cap to the kind of courage of the West squad to stay in this game.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is a feel-good game. Nobody gets anything out of this. It's just, guys playing real hard, and they have played very hard tonight. We've had big hits, big plays, and 7:19 to go, so the ball gets turned over, 1st and 10 at the 31, and shotgun for the West squad. In motion, gives it off.
Carrison.
To Carrison. Carrison running left side. He's got some room. Gets a couple of yards before he's dragged down. And Carrison had some room, but ran into one of his own players over there. And Steve Brandon from Brookside, number 45, in on the tackle.
Carrison's just, I can't get over. I'm still impressed that he's even on the field.
I agree with you, Don. It is amazing.
And you see him, when he went up into the line there, kind of went up in a little on the sideways side, almost guarding against another potential injury. But give him the positive yards, pick up 4 that time.
So they'll have a 2nd and 6 coming up. And that'll be from the 34, fumble on the snap. And I think the West squad has recovered it.
Who's got it, Q? You're down there.
It was turned over. They're signaling a turnover.
Oh, yep, he is. He's signaling it going the other way. Samaskovich lost the exchange. And coming out of the pile was Peter Storer from Avon Lake. And Pete came up with the football and was saying, hey, you don't need to be looking in the pile. I've got the football.
Well, but they've not changed the sticks. They did point.
They did point
east ball direction, but the sticks still say 3rd and 7.
See,
I'm sure the officials pointed in that direction.
I'm sure they did too, but I thought that Samaskovich had fallen on it, and that's apparently going to be the situation.
Okay.
Because they're going to call it 3rd down and 7. Samaskovich in the shotgun now. He's got Carrison to his right. Carrison now will stay back to block. Samaskovich has the pass knocked down, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
When he was firing to the outside looking for Simmons again, Simmons right on the 1st down marker, just beyond it. They'd been able to connect on that. They'd have certainly gotten the 1st down.
Nate Ick from Avon. A defensive tackle comes up. Ick, the salutatorian of his class.
Very nice.
For the Eagles. And that'll bring up a 4th down, and you know what? If you're the West squad, you want to just play it. Let's go for it.
Why
what
not?
The heck? I mean, nothing's going to happen. They're not.
Pull collateral.
Yeah.
Flea flicker.
David Q, what do you got?
Crowd noise.
Samaskovich looking downfield. He avoids the rush. He's going to tuck it and go. He's got a chase. He's got the first down and then some as he gets rushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line, maybe the 46, and it'll be 1st down West.
Hey, good enough. You keep hold of the ball. You keep it moving downfield. You still got 5 minutes and change on the clock. Samaskovich does a nice job avoiding the pressure in the backfield and then really out-sprints everybody to the sticks.
Samaskovich really has had a whale of a ball game. Take a look at the replay. And Samaskovich, this might almost been a called play because he looked up quickly, but then all of a sudden tucked it under and he runs to the left sideline and he gets out of bounds right around the 42-yard line. Now they're going to take it back a little bit. I thought he might have went out quicker than we thought. So 1st and 10 at the 42, 5:26 to go. And it's 33-6 East, but the West has the football. Samaskovich out of the shotgun again, looking, nobody downfield. He's going to keep it. Now he's going to fire, and that's going to be picked off and out of bounds. So the East has come up with another turnover.
Bunovich.
And Sean Bunovich out of North Ridgeville. And that's the second interception, of the football game. 1 for the East and 1 for the West. So we've had 2 turnovers through the air and several on the ground. But it has been the West that's had the problems with the turnovers tonight. And I believe that's, turnover number 4 now?
I think that's
for the
correct.
West squad?
Yeah. Well, they slowed things down, in the first quarter in particular. They had those 3 turnovers, and then they were able to really control themselves during the second and third quarter. Fourth quarter, you're down by a bunch. You're going to kind of take some risks, Mike. You're going to go for some things that you might not go for otherwise, and that's probably what led to that particular turnover.
So the West squad, led by Brian Petty's, will have a 1st and 10 at the 30. Morello is the up back. That's going to go to Jordan White. White's got a big hole, and he's going to go right up to get about 8 as he rips it up to about the 38. And Jordan White just turned on the jets, got a little bit of a hole, and he took off. Great blocking up front.
Knows what to do with the ball, and you're right. I think the blocking in that situation is really what kind of springs things open and gives him the opportunity to do that. He's got a nice sized offensive line. Again, these guys are all-stars. There's no reason these guys can't open up holes for you. All you've got to do is wait, be patient, and follow them through.
Yeah, you got several guys out there on a 2nd and 3. They're going to call it the pitch to White running left. White stutter steps, gets to the outside 40, 35, 30, 50, 45, 40, 30, cuts back in, gets to the 35, down to the 34. And he's down inside to the 24-yard line before he's brought down.
38-yard pickup, Mike.
Jordan White, I can tell you right now who's got most of the yards in the as far as running backs are concerned. It's Jordan White. Take another look here.
Stops on the replay dime here in just a second.
Froze everybody as he got to just kind of turn down the speeds at midfield, stayed along the stripe, and Rodriguez is in there as he brings him down. Matt Rodriguez, Little Hondo out of Vermilion. Yeah, I remember that.
I wonder if Dad ever calls him that.
I don't know, but we are. 1st and 10 from the 25 for Petty's. Morello, the up back, and he hands it to Morello. Morello stuffed. The ball's on the ground. He might have fumbled the exchange, and Petty's comes back up with the football. So, yeah, they fumbled the ball, and they'll lose a yard on the play. Call it 2nd and 11 from the 26. Just a bad exchange between Morello and Petty's. Jock Taylor was back there as the deep back, so you had 2 fullbacks in there. And again, they're going to go with the 2 fullback set. I kind of like this. Yeah. A little smash mouth, old Miami Dolphins when you had like Larry Zonka back then.
Yeah.
Zonka and kick. And now go to Jock Taylor. Taylor's got a big hole, rips up the middle, breaking tackles, and he gets out close to a 1st down at the 15-yard line. Again, that offensive line of the East continuing to open up some holes. Right. Taylor, a fullback, showing some speed.
Well, and you mentioned Zonka. I mean, 2 arms on the ball, right up the middle, make the contact, wrap back up, and take the 1st down, or at least close to the 1st down. Make it 3rd down and very short, less than a yard. But, boy, you just like the looks of that brutal smash-mouth football.
Petty's the keeper, gives it to Taylor again, got the 1st down and more inside the 10 to about the 8 before he's brought down by Little Hondo. Matt Rodriguez out of Vermilion. Love that name, Little Hondo. Little Hondo making some big plays.
Yeah, how many times have we called his name, especially here in this second half?
Well, he's been in on the last 3 plays in a row. So it'll be 1st and goal now for the East as they are inside the 10. They're at the 9. And with 3:03 left to go and a 27-point lead, Petty's, they'll stay with that 2 fullback, Morello, and they'll hand it right back as he gets in there. It's Taylor one more time. Jock Taylor, a valedictorian of his class out of Elyria Catholic. He hands the football off to him and he takes off. Couple of plays from Taylor, and it'll be 2nd and goal as Sean Morello comes out now. The Shoreman fullback, who has also made it to States as a shot putter this year. First time he's ever done that, and finished 6th down at State. So Petty's the handoff. Jordan White, a couple of stutter steps, and White is getting gang tackled. And there's too many numbers to even imagine, but he's picked up at about the 5, so he gets a gain of 4. And we'll come up with 3rd and goal from about the 5. Jordan White is just incredible. And for those of you who obviously have North Ridgeville fans or been in Lorain County and have seen these guys play, you know what we're talking about. Because
oh, yeah.
He's been spectacular.
Hey, Mike, real quick, just got the word from the officials here. The MVPs for both squads have been handed out. I'm going to share those with you right after this play.
All right, 3rd and goal, Petty's. Fake to White, gives it to Morello, or excuse me, Jock Taylor, the up back. Taylor fighting his way towards the goal line, and Taylor's in for the touchdown.
Wow.
Jock Taylor was all Jock Taylor. Picked the ball up. He's the up back at the 5 and just fought his way 5 yards for the touchdown. That was a nice series for the Elyria Catholic valedictorian, and 6 more on the board, 39-6.
Well, as big plays go, let me go ahead and give you the MVPs for the West squad. From Admiral King, player of the game is Gabe Washington, a lineman. Nice to see one of the big guys getting it inside. And for the East squad, interestingly enough, from Avon Lake, no shocker there, Carl Nielsen with the MVP for the East squad.
Carl Nielsen had that blocked punt.
Yep.
And he's also been in on several tackles.
That was the first points of the game, right?
No,
it was the second. You're right.
Morello had the first one, and Lions extra points up and good. And it's 40-6 East, and that's calls for a timeout and then some.
Yes, I'd say so.
As you're listening to the Lorain County All-Star Game on your Ohio sports leader, AM 1320 WOBL, and you're watching it on WLCS TV 20.
What will it take to warn you about the danger of radon gas? It's a threat in 1 out of every 15 homes. You can't see it, smell it, or taste it. So, many lung cancer victims never knew about this risk. A simple home test might have warned them. Don't ignore it. Protect your family and test your home today. Call 1-800-SOS-RADON. Homes with high radon levels can be fixed.
Community water fluoridation is a valuable asset to your oral health. Studies have shown that fluoride in water lowers tooth decay. It is a safe and effective method of prevention that benefits people of all ages and incomes. The cost of water fluoridation is roughly 72 cents per person per year. When you compare that to the cost of dental work, such as fillings or root canals, the cost is minuscule. Not to mention that people with healthy teeth have fewer absences from work and school. Community water fluoridation was named one of the 10 greatest public health achievements in the 20th century by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, thanks to community water fluoridation, more people are keeping their natural teeth longer than ever before. For the ADA Dental Minute, I'm Dr. Maria Lopez Howell.
And 1:39 to go. Time is winding down here at George Daniels Stadium on a Saturday night. And the crowd still has stuck around for this one. And they've actually spilled over to the other side.
Yeah, I'm surprised, actually, we had some folks over there. I noticed them over there in the first half. They're enjoying the game from the far side of the field. The Washington Avenue side of the field, as it were, versus the Oberlin Avenue. But most of the crowd still here enjoying the game. And good to have everybody along and sharing this evening with us.
It's been a beautiful evening for football, no question about it. An even better evening if you're on the E squad, because there's a ton of points scored. But you know what, Kevin Samaskovich still has plenty of time to get his squad some points, as they have 6, and we'll be looking for more. So you can bet he's going to be going to the air as Johnny Lyons tees it up. Lagarde and Simmons back, and Simmons points to Lagarde, but Simmons is going to take it at the 10, 15, up to the 20. Got a block. He's 25, and he's going to be dropped out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
Decent return, about a 15-yard return. Sets them up and gives them an opportunity, about a minute and a half left on the clock, to do what they need to do to get a couple more points on the board. A little bit of miscommunication as to who was going to grab that ball. Finally, Simmons said, okay, I got it, tucked it and went. Waited a little bit for his blockers before he could get into the kind of that picket fence, and by that time the defense was there ready to shut them down.
All right, so they'll take over. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. And Samaskovich has the Amherst connection back there. Has Zach Carrison and Alfie Reyes. And he'll fake it to both of them. Roll to his right side, looking to throw downfield. Has a man open, and it's nearly picked off as he had a man open on the play.
Was that Stokes with the hand on the ball? Kyle Stokes almost picked that one off. Nice defensive play, got up into the air. He actually, you know, it's interesting. He actually won our player of the game during one game last year for exactly that kind of play. Read the ball, closed on it really well. He had, I think, 3 picks in one game, 2 or 3 picks in one game. It was just an amazing defensive performance.
And Stokes on his way to play football at Duquesne. The pass attempt was for Drew Worley out of Vermillion. And Stokes broke it up. So 2nd and 10 from the 26, minute 26 to go. And Samaskovich will operate now out of the shotgun. He's got Carrison back there with him. He to Carrison on the quick handoff, and he is bottled up. And that'll be a loss of 6 back to the 20. Bring up 3rd down.
Who was in there? I'm trying to get
smothered back there, and I believe that was Pete Stokes in on the play.
Nate Ike was right there as well.
Ike was there.
Yeah, it was Ike that made the contact, as a matter of fact. Slipped through the offensive line, and indeed it was. Young man from Avon.
Nice play for Ike. And that'll bring up 3rd down, and 1 under a minute to go as the clock ticking away. So 4 down territory, so to speak, because they're not going to give this ball up. Samaskovich now looking for some help. He's got the 3. He dropped the football, fumble, and it looks like the East has picked up the football. No, it was picked back up by Samaskovich.
Well, that ball was on the
it was on the floor for a
long time.
Yeah, a long time. And the clock is still ticking away. They're
going to just let it go, which I think is probably a good idea. It's merciful.
Yeah, it's 40-6.
And now the crowd begins to depart just a little bit.
And time winding down.
Oh, hopefully we'll have an opportunity to talk to a couple of the coaches here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
As we go, perhaps Coach DeLugas, maybe Coach Groot if he's available.
One more time, completes the pass, and Hilliard's got it, shakes the tackle, and that's going to be the final play. And maybe David Q can get Coach DeLugas for us before they walk off the field. He can talk a little bit about the game because his E squad dominated tonight. 40-6, the final. Here at George Daniel Stadium, an impressive performance from Coach DeLugas' club.
No doubt.
The West squad just had problems from the get-go. Turnovers put him in the hole early.
And that was the story of the game, especially in that first quarter. Three turnovers in a quarter will not win you many games, if any games, to be perfectly honest with you. And in this particular situation, it was all that the East squad needed to establish dominance in this game and really kind of take it to the end and wrap things up in pretty impressive fashion.
It was impressive, and a host of Avon Lake players were in the mix. We're going to take a quick timeout and come back and wrap this one up from George Daniel Stadium. The final, the East 40, the West 6, as you listen to the Ohio Sports Leader, AM 1320 WOBL, and you're watching it on WLCS TV 20.
It's a sound we take for granted. Life seems so simple as a child, yet 500,000 children in Ohio have vision problems. Problems that, if not detected early, can lead to loss of sight and cause difficulty in learning. Simple activities like riding a bike can become dangerous. Each year, 4,000 more children in Ohio will make a trip to the emergency room with a sports-related eye injury. When you register your vehicle or renew your license plates, add a $1 donation to the Save Our Sight Fund. Your dollar will help provide training and equipment for vision screeners, protective eyewear for youth sports teams, eye health and safety programs in schools, information and support for the families of children with amblyopia or lazy eye. Say yes to Save Our Sight and save the sight of Ohio's children. For more information, call 1-800-755-GROW or visit www.saveoursight.org.
Thanks for giving to Save Our Sight.
And welcome back to the 25th annual Lorain County All-Star Game at George Daniel Stadium. We've got a final here tonight, 40-6, as Dave DeLucas' E Squad takes apart Ty Grude's squad. Ty Grude, the head coach of Firelands, but really some early turnovers put the E Squad in control early, and the West just wasn't able to dig out. They just couldn't put up the offensive numbers to do it. We'd like to, while we have the time, give out some special thanks to the Lorain City Schools Athletic Director Rich Yunker, along with Rob Gibbon, who gave us, of course, all of our stats and figures, and the Lorain County Football Coaches Association for all their hospitality. We're hoping to get head coach Dave DeLucas as he talks to his team after a very
Dave likes to
win.
debrief.
Yeah.
We see this every time we spend time with him, and he likes to spend some time. Again, we want to say congratulations to the MVPs of tonight's game. Actually out on the field right now, probably spot up to the back of his jersey here in just a second. Gabe Washington from Admiral King is the MVP for the West squad. For the East squad, it was Carl Nielsen from Avon Lake. I want to congratulate both of those young men on fine performances, and let's see if we can get down to the field now. David Q is approaching Dave DeLucas.
Hook him up, and we'll talk to him momentarily.
Hopefully we can get him on here.
Very impressive performance as Q is handing over the headset to the coach who took 10 of his players into this game and his entire coaching staff. And as of right now, it is well worth it because there was a lot of Avon Lake in the end zone. There were a lot of shoremen running into the end zone tonight. And this impressive win, 40-6, as guys are down there saying goodbye to each other for what will be the final time that these guys will be suited up in a high school situation, playing with some of their friends and, of course, former teammates. As Coach DeLucas now getting on the headset and getting ready to talk to us after an impressive performance here at George Daniel tonight. Coach D, you got us down there?
Gotcha.
All right.
Congratulations. And I can tell you from what looked like the Avon Lake offense seemed to be in full tilt tonight.
Well, we were really fortunate. We've got some tremendous athletes, and we had kids with great attitudes. We had kids that made a pretty strong commitment for us because this is tough to do when you're a high school senior and you graduate to get to come to practice, day after day in the summer, and everybody else is having a good time. So really, you go put it right back down on the kids because they executed the things that we told them to do.
Coach, being the coach at Avon Lake, you've constantly got a great talent pool to draw from. Today you had the opportunity to coach some of the best in the county. I'm sure that you enjoyed that opportunity.
Oh, you're not kidding. And you talk about some of the best, and it's just not some of the best athletes. It's also some of the best people, too. These kids were great. Came in with no egos whatsoever, bought into the team concept immediately. When we left the locker room today, we talked about, what wins football games is discipline, doing your best effort, staying away from fumbles and turnovers, and that's exactly what happened. The kids really executed.
I know you wanted to have a good showing tonight, Dave, but you have to be happy because I know you were excited just to coach in a situation like this. How much fun did you have just being down there and being a part of this tonight?
You know, it's always great to come to the Lorain County All-Star Game. You know, I've coached it once before this, and I've been in the stands for almost every other one. And it's just a lot of fun to be on the field and get a chance to meet kids that you've heard about all season long, and all of a sudden you get to see them up close and up tight. You know, guys like Jordan White, we've heard about him, but we've never really seen him. But man, we really appreciated what he could do on the football field. And a guy like Roger Smith, and then the guys that are really unheralded, and these are the guys that I coached in the game, were the offensive linemen, and they did a great job today, because right near the end of the game, the other team started doing some slanting and some dealing, which you know, by rule you're not allowed to do, but our kids picked that stuff up. Our guys picked that stuff up pretty well. We still were able to score on them, even with all that slanting and dealing going on.
Well, your MVP for the ball game, which was voted on, was Carl Nielsen, and he was kind of all over the place today.
Carl can be a real fly in the ointment for people, because he's got a tremendous burst off the ball, but he's also big and strong. And they never had a real long time to get a chance to set their offense up, because you had Carl Nielsen there. But I'll tell you, another guy from the middle, too, is from Midview, Dean Filer.
Yeah.
That's another guy who kind of dominated inside.
Yeah, your defensive Lombardi Award winner in Lorain County, and he was the one that kind of made his presence known early. He had that big hit early in the ball game.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. Never says a word, but boy, is he a tough kid.
Well, Coach, congratulations. We'll let you go and enjoy your summer, and we will see you back out on the football field very soon.
I just want to make sure that I say thanks to my coaching staff, too, who volunteered their
no
time.
doubt.
We had Coach Laird and Coach Lucas and Coach Stubner and Coach Smith and Coach Petty's. They just did a tremendous job and, you know, made the same type of commitment that the kids made. So I really appreciate what they've done.
Well, Coach D, congratulations to you and your coaching staff on a well-deserved win tonight.
Okay, thank you very much.
There is the head coach of the East Squad, Dave DeLugas, in just a top-to-bottom, all-around great job.
And you know, Coach D made the point of pointing out all the great volunteer efforts of his coaching staff. I want to say also thank you to the coaching staff at Firelands. They did the same thing to all the great folks on the Lorain County Football Coaches Association for putting this evening's game together. And to the kids, you know, we got to thank the kids. Otherwise, there's no point in being here. They're the guys that go out and do all the work, and we're just happy to be along for the ride.
Yeah, and you can see people down there taking pictures. I mean, this is just something that you want to remember for the rest of your life. You just say, you know, this is your chance. And if you were watching us tonight on WLCS, there's a chance, of course, you can watch the All-Star game again in its entirety several times next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It'll be played 3 different times, 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 8 p.m. right here on WLCS TV 20. But for those of you who have been listening to us on your Ohio sports leader, AM 1320 WOBL, for our sideline reporter, David Q, for the man next to me, Donnie V.
Thank you very much.
Who will be sing-songing his way through another play-by-play season this year in Lorain County. So we'll be looking forward to working together again.
I just can't wait to get at it. We've been very fortunate as a sports crew. We recently won the Media Market Outstanding Sports Operation of the Year in Ohio.
That's everybody.
That's a ton of folks in the media market, and we're fortunate to have had the opportunity to be here. We're looking to get back at it this year, bringing you 21 live high school football games, 10 college football games right here on Lorain County Sports Network, AM 1320 WOBL, and the Cool Cat 1380.
And it all starts on Friday, August the 25th. On WOBL, we'll be in Midview. Elyria at Midview should be a good one. Don will be over in Westlake, where the Rangers get ready to take on the Demons of Westlake, and we'll see a Ridgeville team that will miss a Jordan White, but they will have plenty of guys to come out of the woodworks and get you going.
They got some guns. It's all right.
Jason Gibbs will get you started, and he does a great job. The pregame show comes your way at 6:30. So for all of us on the sports crew, for the Q, for Country Joe back in the studio, for my partner, Don Vincent, I'm Mike Cairns. Thank you for listening to the 25th Annual Lorain County All-Star Game from George Daniels Stadium. Your final score tonight, the East winners 40-6. Good night, everybody.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.